Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. We are live, coming at you from the dank in Newtown. This is the Simpsons Index, episode 37. Hello, I am your host, Elliot J. O'Neill, and joining me in the dank this week is...
I want to know what love is.
And?
I want you to show me.
And finally...
You be Carl Reiner, and I'll be Police Chief William, and we'll do the $2,000 man thing.
Oh, yes.
I hate Cole Runner.
Tremendous.
Police Chief Wiggum.
And joining me is, of course, Sheridan, Danny, and BT. Hello, guys.
Hi, Elliot.
How we doing?
Well. And you?
Unplanned magic. I'm doing great. Yes, and this is the podcast where we watch 3 episodes of The Simpsons at a time. The catch is, each episode comes from a different decade. And starting out tonight, we just watched season 22.
The shit decade.
I mean, that's what it's called on the street.
The catch is. I love it. What a twist.
Oh, I'm shocked.
I, for one, am just stunned.
All right, so, we just watched season 22, episode 22, The Ned-Liest Catch. In this episode, they hook up Ned Flanders and Edna Krabappel.
I know.
To
But
form
no, they don't.
Nedna.
Huh?
To form Nedna.
Nedna.
Just like Brangelina.
It's the new celebrity power couple.
For sure.
Nedna. But then they break them up at the end. And then they
Or
ask
do they?
Or do they?
I know. Oh.
Cast your vote now.
Is there really any point reviewing this now that we know what happens at the end?
Oh, there is. I have opinions. I have
Yeah.
a half page of notes.
I have damn opinions.
Well, yeah, this is a spoiler podcast. We will work under the assumption that you've seen the episode, but not required for an entry.
When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Everyone knows that assumptions make asses out of you and umptions.
Ass.
Anyway, so they, in brief, they end the episode with a, we're going to let the audience decide if we're going to keep it Ned and Nedna together. And spoiler alert, yeah, they did for the at least 3 years or whatever until poor Marsha Wallace died. And they killed off the character as well. Like, they didn't kill her off.
Yeah, they just don't have her anymore, I think.
Yeah.
So she might still be Ned's creepy, basement wife now.
No, they do have a
Whoa.
quick scene where Ned is just sitting by a picture of Maud and Edna and says, well, both my girls are in heaven now.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's all they really do.
Aw.
They don't do much, but that's I think it was a respectful way to do it.
off-screen
Not really have an episode about it because it was a real world thing. Although then they have a weird thing where she comes back as a ghost in one episode.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
but she doesn't say
Wow.
anything. She, just sort of comes back as a ghost and gets jealous of Ghost Maud. Like, it's really creepy.
Yeah, because I mean, okay, Maud they bumped off as a character, but this was actually the voice actor dying, and that's
Can I
it
be
feels
a
different
jerk
to me.
for a second and just say I'm
Please.
really glad that Maud's dead?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Throwing down.
I hated Maud.
What'd
Oh
she
my
ever do to you?
God.
She's
Look, Maud hated you, but she would never say something like that.
Maud is the type of person that would be going to a Hillsong conference on a Sunday morning at 9 a.m. and sees me standing next to someone else's empty long neck on the street and tells me that I need God in my life. That's Maud. Fuck that guy. Like, I'm sorry. And she is a guy.
Sounds like a specific incident.
Yeah,
She really needs to give
Did
it a
this
rest with the
happen,
blue
Sheridan?
eyeshadow also.
it's
I'm
true.
glad
There's a
she
lot-
fell off. That's a bit of a horrible death. I would have preferred that she went peacefully in her sleep, but I'm glad she's gone.
So long as she's dead.
Yep, shot with a cannon.
Yeah.
T-shirt cannon.
T-shirt cannon.
There's been the death index with Sheridan Morley.
Fuck you, Maud.
Who is going straight to
Sorry
hell.
she's dead, but I'm glad she's gone.
Yeah, so the episode starts out with a big kerfuffle at the gym.
For the girls' basketball team.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is really okay. There's a lot to go through here. So they kind of run in, and it's only Lisa there, and like, "Where's the team?" And she's like, "Oh, they all got
The Lady
sick at the
Jaguars, was it? The Lady Jaguars? or
Yeah, which
I
is
was so worried for a second they were going to say Lady Gaga, and I'm like, no, we already did
Not
that one.
again.
yeah. Ugh, she came back for one. No.
There is a bunch of horrible shit going on even before that happens, though. From the first line of dialogue in this episode, I was like, wow, sexism. For a show that is usually pretty super feminist, particularly with Lisa, I was like, holy shit. Like, I get that ripping on women's sport is funny, but at the same time, like,
Yeah, they
so
had-
it started out it was something like, congratulations to whoever they are, the Lady Jaguars, who won 2-0 in the third overtime period in a basketball match. I was like, okay, all right,
Get
I
it?
can
Because
handle
they
that.
don't score a lot because they're women.
Exactly. And it's boring to watch. And you're like, thanks, guys. Anyway, and then Lisa's too weak to break through a fucking paper banner.
Yeah.
I feel that's
And I
more
was
a
like-
Lisa gag
Yeah.
than a woman
It
gag.
is-
To be
it is a
entirely
Lisa
fair.
gag.
Yeah, but
But
it's
at the same time.
Yeah,
It's before you know that she's not even part of the team yet.
within
you know?
the framework of what's going on. Yeah.
That's right. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Lauren Jackson could kick any Simpsons writer's ass on any day.
Yeah.
Who's Lauren Jackson?
They don't follow male sports either.
Let's move on. Yeah.
There's my defense.
Disclaimer to anyone listening. This is not a women's sport issue here. This is a bunch of nerdy dudes who have never picked up a ball in their life. I used to call Elliot Ball Skills O'Neill, in fact.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know who Ronda Rousey is. That's a female sports person.
Yeah.
Lauren Jackson was the captain, the Australian women's basketball captain for many years.
Right. Nice.
Shout out to Lauren Jackson.
I've been
Wherever you
following
are.
along with the female rugby thing that's going on. Female
AFL?
AFL.
Yeah,
That looks pretty
becoming
exciting.
Australian Football League. What I'm loving about that is that women's AFL's like, it's only just started. The league's only just become a thing, and it's already hugely popular over here, which is awesome to see.
Oh yeah, and like interest in girls at school, at primary school, and teaching AFL at school level has skyrocketed.
Yeah, and I think the cool thing, because it hasn't been available as a sport, any of the adult women who are playing it now, many of them have come from other sports.
Yeah,
So apparently some of like the big sort of rising stars of the league were former competitive cricketers, some of them competitive women's rugby union players, which has like already a bit of a following worldwide. So it should be interesting to follow.
yeah. So fuck you, Simpsons, for demeaning women's role in sports.
Yeah, fuck
Boom.
you. And I will come back to this later in the episode because they managed to rectify it. But
Yeah.
we'll move on for now.
But like we were saying about, Lisa being the equipment manager and stuff, I liked all the stuff around that because that was a joke on her. Like,
And actually, I do also really like Skinner goes, now time to make some noise in your indoor voices.
yeah. That was a good line.
But yeah. So Lisa shows up and is like, the whole team got sick at the egg salad sandwich party I wasn't allowed to come to.
So I wasn't invited.
Yeah, which is all right. But what weirds me out is they're not there playing another team. Like, there's no other team there.
No, it's a
waiting.
pep rally.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's actually a really weird tradition.
Yeah.
From
It's
what
Not
I
really
can
an Australian
understand.
thing, is it?
No, we don't have them here.
No, we don't have that much pride in ourselves.
Yeah. Or our schools
We're
and
already
places
full
of work.
pep.
So a pep rally is more or less the cheerleaders get to break their ankle in something that isn't an actual competition.
All right.
And then everyone else gets to scream and yell and go on about how much school spirit they have. That's all I know.
Sheridan, they get to scream and yell in their indoor voices.
Scream and yell in the indoor voices. Yeah.
All right,
And
we're
this is the
excited.
Simpsons Index where we're using our indoor voices now.
And now some smooth jazz.
And yeah, everyone gets upset because Skinner was going to allow free time, and then Lisa decided she wanted to do a speech, and then everyone's like, "No, fuck you!" And then all chaos reigns. And
Bart snaps Milhouse's glasses like it ain't no thing.
Yeah,
And
he's
then
all
he,
like, no
pulls
one
the-
denies me free play. Screw you, best friend.
And then he pulls the retractor on the bleachers, and like everyone comes tumbling down. Like
I'm pretty
people
sure
should
someone
have died.
recently died like
Yeah.
in one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Probably like a couple of years back. So I mean, in relative time.
Just
I've watched enough American horror movies set in schools to see those things are death traps.
Yeah. I've always had a weird phobia of like if you have to walk on them to get out that you're going to like
Yep.
fall between them and break your ankle.
so yeah, Bart causes chaos, and then Skinner yells at Mrs. Krabappel, "Control your student." And so I like the visual here of Edna chasing down Bart. It was like a really good angle, like right in front of Bart as like she was chasing him, I don't know, like the ball from Indiana Jones or something.
Nice.
And then yeah, Edna catches him and then just smacks him. Everyone, and then
Yeah.
she goes,
And again,
smacks him again.
That really weirded me out. Like, I've kind of figured if there was a joke of, oh, well, I'm in trouble now, I may as well do it twice. But it's
Yeah.
just everyone stops and stares, and Edna has this moment of, oh, God, everyone saw me do that. Smack.
Yeah, I really kind of wanted to see it keep going. Just like, you know what, my foot's in the cow breaker now. I might as well just smack.
Is that like the rule of jazz? Make a mistake, but if
Do
you
it
play it
3
again,
more times.
yeah.
Then
Pretty
it's
sure
a
that
win.
was Jimmy Plant that said
I
that.
tried that once. It was a spectacular failure.
You sounded like an idiot 3 times.
Yes.
Warning people, never jazz.
It was just before before my time. They didn't understand it.
Yeah, I know. That was the brilliance. One day they'll appreciate your prowess.
My genius.
One day. They pulled Edna in for a kind of like counseling session to kind of reprimand her for that. And it basically means that she's going to a kind of teacher limbo where she's going to get paid, but she's not allowed. She has to go there
Detention.
during
She's in
normal
detention.
work days. And can't. Is for some reason doesn't know what a book is and doesn't bring one.
So there are a couple of points to be made here, like specific Australian points, and I'd be surprised, interested to know if this happens in the US too. There was an urban legend that I heard upwards of 5 years ago that RailCorp, the rail network organisation, government organisation in New South Wales, put through a massive redundancies around about 10 years ago. Basically, they needed to make a bunch of positions redundant, but a lot of people wouldn't take the redundancy because they were so used to the excellent conditions of working in the public service. So they had the choice instead to go to what is basically the teacher holding facility, but for rail employees.
Actually, I have something on this if you're curious.
Really?
Yeah, many years ago, my dad was riding on a train, and every day he'd go to work, he'd see this guy sitting opposite him, just napping, every single day.
Yeah,
and so
right.
at one point, got to a point of talking to him, was like, "Hey, what are you doing? And what do you work here? Or are you on your way to work?" He's like, "No." So what he was a fireman for the railway back when they used to have, coal-powered engines.
Wow.
They used to have a guy whose job it was to, be the fireman. But obviously when they went to electric, you didn't need a fireman anymore. But the union was so strong, they couldn't just fire them all.
Yeah.
So they're like,
Well,
you
who
guys
fires
still
the
need,
fireman?
you still need to show up every day, and you still need to be on the rail, and you still need
That's
to
the
fight a
thing.
fire if there is one. But because there's no coal engine anymore, they were just like, yeah. So he just showed up
Yeah.
every day and went to sleep on the train.
And this is what I heard also. So apparently there's this room, allegedly at Central
Allegedly.
Station, but could have been
Come on,
anywhere.
really?
Yeah, apparently there was a room,
you got
and there's newspapers, and there's coffee, and it's more or less like you going in for jury duty, and it's a waiting room.
you're showing up for
And
your
people
day,
go
and
there
that's your
and
day.
they wait, and they don't do anything. And I can't think of a worse version of hell than that, personally.
I can't think of a better job.
But
Period.
Oh
you
my
get,
God.
yeah, well,
I
you
mean,
get paid.
I
But
can't believe. I mean, you take your textbooks, you take your guitar there, you take
Yeah.
some movies, you study and get degrees. You do your second
that's
job
very
on your phone
proactive.
while you could do 10 jobs
you could.
and get paid for the extra one.
Yeah,
It's
you
like
could-
getting free rent.
Be one of those people who just mines gold in Warcraft.
You could.
Hey,
You
pizza.
could. Hey, pizza.
And we're back after eating some delicious pizza from Mama Rosie's. Guys, what'd you think?
Good, but their bread is weird, and their topping distribution is just. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
My face is half grease, half me.
Yeah, the grease was good, but yeah, the floppiness
Yeah,
and the distribution, no, not on
Maximum
point.
floppy.
So yeah, Edna gets sent to the educational limbo, which apparently,
I'd like to comment on the teacher who was talking about staring at the crack in the ceiling
yeah,
to pass the time. And then Edna tried looking and he went, "Find your own crack."
find your own crack. And a lot that same teacher, she's looking around later and he's eating his own beer.
his beer.
Wait, I'll see if I can make the sound.
Seeing in real
Ew.
life is not funny.
Oh, man. Quick, take a photo of Elliot. Oh, my God. Oh.
It's hard to go pa with it.
I would really like to
You've-
film that at some
You've
point
done
tonight.
it now. Tell us how it is.
But yeah, basically he's shoving his beer in his mouth and just swishing it around like a fine wine, and
Oh,
then
they
just
heard
going
you do it.
spitting it out like a fine wine. I like that guy. So yeah, and Bart comes and because he's feeling very guilty about being a part of getting Ed in a fight, although he shouldn't.
They
like,
didn't really establish his guilt very strongly either.
No.
He came in and he was like, "Yo, Edna, what you doing chilling with these lazy homeboys? You should be out partying."
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly him saying, "I was the bad guy and I'm very, very sorry."
Yeah. I pushed you too far for too many years.
Yeah.
And honestly, it didn't even hurt you, wuss.
Yeah, except the second one. Damn, that one left the mark.
I also struggle to understand how Bart took it so well. Maybe it's because he's been forcibly strangled for so many years
Yeah.
by his only
Yeah.
father figure.
Nah.
I reckon
It's morbid.
shock can go a long way, you know?
Yeah, right.
You wouldn't even notice. I mean, you'd be too busy going, "Did she just... I think she just... Oh, my God, I think she just slapped me." Too busy to go, "Oh, that's going to leave a mark. I can feel capillaries bursting."
Because he'd know that word. I don't know that word. What's that word?
Like itty bitty veins. the
Small,
ones
tiny veins at the very surface of
You know
your
when you get a
epidermis.
bruise? That's from
Yeah.
capillaries exploding, and there's like trapped blood underneath your skin. Sort of.
boom. Dan just said bruise in a fancy pantsy way.
So yeah, Bart busts her out and does the classic Bart putting a mannequin of...
Also does the classic Bart in the wall. He's
Yep.
he's really
He's a
dry,
spry
crawl
young
space
man.
guy.
Oh, yeah. But it was all sort of just a means to an end to sort of get Edna to literally fall into Ned's arms.
Yeah.
Because, he's busting her out and she's on
Climbing
the
down the
ladder
fire
and the
escape.
ladder breaks. And
Oh, did we talk about Kisses $1?
Oh, hobo kisses? Yeah, that
yeah.
teacher. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say with the mannequin. Yeah, because Bart has the Edna mannequin
For use in shtick, I think was the thing.
No, it was,
Yeah.
to practice his pranks on.
and
yeah.
puts a sign in
Yeah.
front of it that it says hobo kisses $5. And then one of the teachers, also in educational limbo, just rips the head off it and goes, and does the eyebrows thing. Like, what's the psychology behind that?
I would have liked to see Beard Guy just chew on the mannequin's head and then go, pat.
Just more. Pah!
Yeah.
One thing I picked up on in this episode that I've never really noticed before, she always looks tired, and I realized for the first time how they do that. It's one curved line under one eye
Yeah.
that just makes her look
Just that
like she
little
has
extra
massive eye bags.
Actually, speaking of which, Shag, I think you pointed it out that her voice is sounding pretty weathered in this
It
episode.
is really
Yeah.
haggard,
It is, yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Poor thing.
I
Poor
wonder if
Marsha.
that's intentional.
I'm sure they're making the most of it with her being all run down and stuff. But I
Yeah.
think it's just the voice
It's just
actors get
Time and
past
age,
their
and
prime.
after a while.
Yeah.
I mean, same with Marge's voice. It's
Yeah.
rougher these days.
Barely holding on there. So yeah, going into Act 2, Flanders and Edna have charmed the pants off each... No, they haven't charmed the pants off each other. What am I saying? There's a whole fucking bit about how they don't take pants off.
I will say, I do really like their little meet there. It's very cute. A meet cute, some would call
If you
it.
will.
But,
I have to say I was very surprised at how confident Ned is in this episode. He
Yeah.
goes straight to,
Yeah, for
shall we
real.
have lunch?
Yeah.
Where in the past, I'm trying to remember, he's had a
well, he's had his
Sarah
typical...
Sloan,
He's a
and there was
lady
killer, man.
Rachel Jordan, I think was the one I was thinking of, the Christian country music
Yeah,
singer
yeah.
he meets at church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes him like whole episodes to agree to go out on one date with these girls. But with Edna, he's like,
Well,
let's have lunch.
I guess they helped him cross that bridge, and now he's on the other side of the bridge, just in Date City.
Date
Yeah.
City.
And, in that way, it was a good sort of parallel for these two characters to come together because they've both had unlucky love lives. But also, it doesn't make sense because they're totally incompatible. Like,
Sometimes that happens, man. Opposites attract and
yeah,
shit.
true.
You know?
Suppose they did have a very cute little songtage. I didn't quite get the song that they were using over the montage thing there.
I don't even remember it. I do
Yeah.
want to bring up his minor gripe where they go to Pinkberry, and I like the joke that Ned's like, well, that's nowhere near as provocative as I thought it was. Let me cross that off my list of places I thought were too sexy, and on there's like In-N-Out Burger and everything.
Yeah.
But is it just me, and I never thought Pinkberry sounded sexual in the slightest?
Until now.
Oh man.
No, I've heard it in other...
Filthy.
So, yeah, they bring up Flanders' prudishness when he's on Edna's couch and she's peeling layer after layer of sweater off him.
Oh man.
What'd you guys think about this whole bit and Edna's sort of, like, keenness to fuck and his keenness not to?
First of all, it's established, and it's definitely there for every character.
Yeah, it's very in keeping with both of them.
I really like the joke where she's like, hey, you've got 2 kids. The stork didn't deliver them. And he's like, actually, we did specifically hired a Dr. Stork to deliver them, so we wouldn't be lying when we told the kids that's where they came from.
Yeah, it's a bit
Wow.
clunky, but it is, like, very Flanders and pretty funny.
The one I liked the best was during that little montage with the Motown classic playing in the background, and they were in the movies, and she puts her hand in the popcorn box and pulls out a crucifix.
Yeah. Very, very.
Why, what else would possibly be in a popcorn box?
Popcorn, Ben. There would be popcorn.
I
That
know.
is the kind of prank that Flanders would play as well. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Blessing the butter.
Yep.
Then there was the maybe I'm skipping ahead, but then there was like the let's just do it, and then there's the sexy cheese montage.
Oh, yeah. And, yep, turns out they were watching Ken Burns' Cheese.
Had to be Ken Burns.
Nice throwback to the sort of, what do you think Mum and Dad are doing joke. But, yeah, good to see Ken Burns' Cheese getting represented. I really want to watch that fucking documentary.
You being a big Ken Burns Jazz fan.
Yeah, that's right. I've got Ken Burns' Jazz on my shelf there.
He comes up every now in comedies. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's such a niche reference, though. Surely, it's
Yeah.
not.
It's
It's not niche. It's been mentioned on the Simpsons index at least 4 times.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I only like one of his documentaries. I haven't watched his baseball one, his war one. I've heard his war one's good.
But if you haven't watched them, maybe you do like them.
Yeah. I want to see Ken Burns' documentary.
Ooh.
Oh, Ken Burns is Ken Burns?
Yeah. Come on.
Long ago, Ken Burns liked to document things.
But yeah, I like that we have that little moment with them. Obviously, we know Aiden is a little more provocative, and that Ned is definitely not. So it was going to come up at some point. I like the way they put it together. It works pretty well.
Yeah.
They decided.
I like the safety sweater and then the double safety sweater. Later on, he drops that he puts on his special pair of super secret Christian underwear.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, so they end up hooking up after watching a very, arousing cheese documentary. And
Edna gets educational.
Edna educational.
Oh, you're fine.
Boo.
What would Ken Burns say?
Elliot liked to make stupid puns from a very young age. Yeah, so Edna's like pretty much full on moved in now, and they're fucking and having fucking fun, and
I do not believe they were fucking, because after the cheese documentary, Ned just says he strips down to his wife, bless her, and
that's right.
they just get some smooches on. They smooch up a storm.
I thought he was going, well, you know what? There's no point in waiting around. Might as well get freaky nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we missed the best line of the episode.
Which was?
I never go to second entendre on the first date.
Oh, man. That was amazing.
That was fantastic. All right, well, fucking or not, let's move on.
Yep. So sort of coming into Act 3, Edna's visiting the Flanders house often, and like there's this good bit where the school bus and Edna are driving the same direction, and Bart and Edna get out at the same time.
She pulls up next to the bus, and Bart's like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm dating Ned," and he's like, gives him his homework because he left it behind. He's
Bumping
like, no.
moustaches, I believe.
Bumping moustaches.
Yeah, that's right.
Man.
And yeah, classic bit where, he's blaming the dog again for constantly chewing up the homework, and then he goes, see, look, hands the dog the homework. He just flattens it out.
Yeah.
And then
He pours dog food on it. He eats the dog food up and sweeps it up with his tail, and then answers one of the questions by tapping his tail.
It was a really good animation bit. It's not going to come off as good just describing it, but yeah.
So then, Bart and Homer can conspire to split these two apart.
Yeah.
So Homer takes Ned out for drinks, and Bart just kind of sits Rod and Todd down and talks about all the evil step-parents that have been in all the fairy tales.
I loved that, he tried to do this, and then Rod and Todd end up doing his laundry.
Yeah. I love how poorly both of their attempts go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because Homer, originally had, bad intentions, and then, Ned just explained how much he loved Edna, and then Homer was like, oh, I'm turning around. And then everybody in the bar who fucked Edna just happened to be there at the same time.
Well, when you fuck everyone in town, they're all going to be somewhere.
So, including Joey Kramer, who for some reason made an appearance on this episode.
They had to name drop him 3 times in case anyone forgot who he was.
Exactly. Yep. Did they just miss him out on the Aerosmith episode, or
No. That was a joke
reference.
in the Aerosmith episode. Miss Krabappel, I really need my drumstick.
Come and get him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He came and he got him.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, a 20-year callback. It's actually kind of amazing. Mm-hmm. And how different he looks in Simpsons form.
This part, from this scene onwards, I'm very sorry in advance, but I'm going to take over because this is where, as I previously mentioned, the Simpsons writer redeemed themselves feminism-wise. Comic book guy makes a joke about his email address being Edna Lover 157, and that's the lowest number I could get.
Yeah.
Whatever. Flanders is freaking out. This is a massive double standard that they've exposed in this episode, and that's why I forgive them from the earlier women's sport cracks.
From their earlier transgressions.
Yeah, I mean, there is this massive thing which they're exposing here about, women who have slept with a lot of men, they're either sloppy seconds or dudes who have slept with the same chick are tunnel buddies and this and that. And there's no real female equivalent.
Wait. Tunnel buddies is a little legit.
That's a
or
thing.
pussy bros.
Pussy bros. The only equivalent I could come up with was sausage sisters, but that's not something anyone would say.
Yeah, that's
I'll
not.
slap 5 over.
Yeah, exactly.
Awful.
Who's my sausage sister? Oh, you're my sausage.
But that's the thing. It got me thinking towards the end of this episode about things that girls freak out about. If a lady was in Ned Flanders' position and, you know, the male equivalent of Edna had slept with 150 odd women, they'd be worrying about things like, why did he break up with his ex? I wonder what went wrong. Like, what does he not like in a woman? Is she smarter than me? Is she prettier than me? Is she, you know, what are her interests? What's he into? Not, did he fuck her better than me? Which is basically the only thing that's coming up here. And also, ew, she's not a virgin. And so then we get to this lounge room scene where Ned basically forgives her. And this is where it gets awesome for the first time. And it's a shame it's right at the end, but I'm glad they finally got there. So Ned forgives her for sleeping with all those men. And she basically just goes, fuck you. And what she says...
You sanctimonious prude.
You sanctimonious prude. And I wish that they said prick, but you can't say prick on The Simpsons because it's
prude is
usually
still,
you sanctimonious
the
prick.
right word.
Yeah. But... Best line
sanctimonious,
ever. And
absolutely.
she's just like, I'm not ashamed of dating those men. I'm proud. And that's something that you have to accept. I'm like,
Real
you
good
go,
on her.
girl.
No,
Anyway.
totally. It did hit on that good issue well. Like,
We kind of... I don't mean to
We missed a bit, sorry.
unsay you. Yeah, but Homer's speech, like
Yeah.
Homer going out and saying, "Hey, look, it's fine that women have slept around or whatever. You know, they're still human beings. Go date, go have fun. You guys clearly get along well." Blah da 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 da. For Homer, that was a fairly
It was very well thought out for Homer.
contemporary sort of
Very
and not bad
progressive.
considering like he was having to, you know, scale a playground and then do like hopscotch and then swim a bunch and then
Hey,
fight
actually,
an octopus.
That whole little chasing after Ned montage does start with another joke I like, which is Ned's out for his daily walk. Go after me. My doctor said don't walk. That was a signpost.
Oh, that was great too.
That was a
That's the
traffic
third
signal.
really good line in this one.
There are a couple of really good jokes in this.
One is, Elliot, you're wrong. He didn't have to do any of those. It was clear path right next to all of that crap. Two, there was a really good kind of parallel to the start of the episode where the kids were doing the gymnast routine on the way out.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Because it was boring, but this one was funny.
That first one, it wasn't that good, but yeah, the animation and stuff, it was a great way to sort of convey a point that like characters have to make a bunch of times in TV in a unique way.
Indeed.
Yes. But where the episode is let down for me is this post bit where Edna and Ned are at a sort of stalemate, and then they drop a new background margin Homer. Well, we're going to let you, the fans, decide. Go on Simpsons.com and vote now.
Go
And-
to hell.
Yeah, it was a
What
real shame.
Cheap.
I think, yeah, totally cheap. They could have done so much more with this episode. They could have even made it a 2-part episode, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess effectively it is because we're going to come back to it next time.
Well, yeah, there's
Really? Did they readdress
follow
I don't
through.
think
They
I don't think it's
follow
going to be
through.
about this. It's just going to have that conclusion is going to be in the next episode.
Yeah,
but I don't
right.
know. Maybe it is about this. I
So
don't
what's
know.
the conclusion? Does she dump his ass?
No,
No.
the fans did vote, and like it was totally legit.
There
They-
was a real vote.
yeah.
I know. It sounds like it was like a metafiction stab at itself. And I could see they were doing it as sort of a tongue-in-cheek. This is such a silly thing that, you know, normal TV shows do. We're doing it to make fun of those. But they're actually doing it as
No,
well.
Yeah.
so this is where it gets really interesting. So you're saying the fans voted for her to take Ned back?
Oh, you mean interesting psychologically of humanity as a whole?
Yeah, I mean,
And
they
their
basically rejected the feminist option, which is fuck you, you sanctimonious prude, which is where the writers were heading.
I did want to do this episode because, like, we are getting, like, starting to make a lot of headway in the index. Like, we've done 100 episodes now.
Oh, woo!
Yeah, we celebrated that last time.
Only
Stop.
550 more to go.
Jesus. But yeah, and for a couple of years there, they had Ned and Edna together. So I thought it was important to knock this one off because this is continuity for
Yeah, it's one of
the years between
one of the
when this
rare
happened
permanent-
and when Marshall Wallace died.
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
the rare permanent continuities that goes on. So.
Am I wrong in saying towards the... I mean, clearly there are a few assumptions in the storyline of The Simpsons as
Yeah.
time goes on, but particularly recently in this, I would argue this decade, there's a lot more continuity
Yeah.
issues that you have to deal with. Whereas previously it would be the format where everything's back to normal at the end,
Yeah,
you start again.
You know what? I'd say it's more like Captain America Civil War, where I don't think you can come into that movie cold. I think there's a bunch of Marvel movies you need to see before that one. And
Unlike Avengers, which you could come into cold.
yeah, and it's an excellent movie. I love it. Seen it a million times, but I don't think I'd love it if it was the first one I'd seen. And I think that's sort of the status with the later seasons of The Simpsons is that there's so many characters that have so many established traits, relationships with each other, and there's so many references that they're making to the old era in the new one. So, yeah, it does rely on a lot of
Previous
prior knowledge, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, she was sort of saying that the first episodes, it doesn't matter so much because it always resets in like the Monster of the Week format.
Yeah.
But even with those, you can only have so many of these episodes before at some point there's just a build-up of history, of mythos.
Yeah.
And it's all going to add up.
I wonder-
Note, Civil War is not a great movie, and I will discuss that with you after the podcast.
I was also about to say, is this where we're at now that, like, when it comes to analysing film, the best analogy we can come up with is when I was watching Captain America.
No,
So,
I think-
like,
I
you
think
could
it's fair
completely
God.
argue that...
Well, sorry
Hang
for making a
Discussing Wittgenstein over a game of Parcheesi.
No, and look, I am biased because
Fine.
I never read
The
comics.
Deathly
and-
Hallows Part 2 is a shitty movie until you watch every other Harry Potter.
Why don't you never watch any of the Harry Potter movies? That's terrible.
Read a book, kids.
Read a book, read a book,
Harry
read a
Potter
motherfucking book.
No, but to be fair, it is a really huge, the Marvel movies are a really huge property, and B, it is something that has a strong shared continuity that in certain parts of it you didn't need to know, i.e. Avengers 1, but in certain parts you absolutely need to know, i.e. Captain America 3.
Right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Time for the questionnaire. So the storyline, it was just an A throughout. Did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
You feel like an episode of The
I'm going to
Simpsons.
say, yeah.
I'm going to say yeah, it really does.
It did.
Yeah, I guess
harkens
so.
back to, like, it really reminded me of Edna's love quest. What was the guy's name? Grave gently far. Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
holding hands and kisses by candlelight.
Oh, yes. And I really hate yo-yos.
P.S. I'm gay.
So yeah, I didn't like the whole American Idol fucking vote now ending, but like otherwise the episode was fine. Play count. How many times do you think you've seen it, if at all?
I think I have seen it this once.
This once.
Twice.
A returning customer.
Indeed.
This is actually probably in the 20s for me. This is one that I've often put on from the late
Wow.
like I think season 22 is actually on the whole pretty good. Like it was actually hard to pick an episode from season 22 this time.
It felt good. Like, I mean, you're right. Like this one, and I think I've seen one other from 22, maybe. But pacing feels like The Simpsons again. The characters are really on point. Their voices sound like garbage, but the
That's
writing
just time,
is a
man.
lot cleaner and funnier and more compact a storyline. And it doesn't feel like it's dropped gags in order to get the storyline.
Yeah.
And there's heart again. My chest. I felt something stir.
There's
Just
a rhythm in
little
here.
bit.
What is this?
It's a
Yeah, this
cave.
episode was pretty deep, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wonder whether that's why they did the cop-out ending, because they're like, a bit too deep for season 22.
Yeah.
Vote now.
And just sort of, I think it might have been a bit better if they'd explored the whole implications of Krabappel hitting Bart a bit, but then that would have taken time away from the beard chewing guy.
Yep.
Speaking of which, wackiness. Not overly wacky.
Yeah, I'd say Homer chasing after Ned and all the obstacles he goes through is probably the wackiest thing. But again,
Fighting the
it's-
octopus.
yeah,
Yeah, a dog doing math.
it's possible.
Yeah, as we've seen, like The Simpsons is a documentary after all.
That hobo ripping off Krabappel's head.
Yeah,
That was probably the wackiest thing. I was a little,
And
what's
Krabappel.
going on here?
and Krabappel falling off the ladder as
Hey,
well.
Yeah, I
people
suppose.
fall off ladders all the time.
But it was a funny line as well where it said the weight limit, and she goes, "Oh God, the one day I put cream cheese on the bagel." Like,
Yeah, I thought it was a bit wow.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I do like it has a pinpoint accurate weight load bearer, and the second it exceeds that, it just falls off completely. But again, means to an end.
heart. Where did the heart lie in this episode?
Ah, man. It was full of heart.
Yeah,
I think Homer had heart in this episode.
Yeah.
he did. And his change of heart was good.
Yeah,
Going
he had a
from
big turnaround.
throwing random balls into Flanders' yard to crying
Seeing
with
him
him.
as
Yeah.
a human.
But Nedna, on the other hand, they were just a really fucking insufferable couple towards the end. Edna, Mrs. Krabappel, was the really annoying girlfriend that goes and knocks on the best friend's door and goes,
Oh,
"Here's what
yeah.
my boyfriend doesn't like about you."
Well, I suppose in defense of
different
that,
words.
Ned is always the doormat, and he's kind of dating someone who's not going to let that happen to him. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is a bit I think anyone else that would be more annoying in this kind of circumstance. I'm okay with it.
It's half sweet, except in real life it doesn't work that way.
For real. Except Homer is someone who really had it coming.
Yeah, damn right.
And his garage was literally full of Flanders stuff, including his tumbleweed.
Yeah, as it turns out.
I thought there was a bit of heart there in Homer's. Well, no, not really, but there was an opportunity there with Homer being confronted with himself, you know? Marge, I'm not a dickhead bully to Flanders, am I? Marge is like, well, actually, Homer, you're a disgusting piece of human garbage. Don't mind with you.
Sounds just like Marge.
Thank you. I've been working on it.
Yes or no, would you watch this episode again?
You know, I think I would.
Yes.
Me too.
Sorry. Yes.
That's the one.
Rick and Morty crossover. All right, so we're going to watch it again. What playlist will we put it in again?
Ned relationships.
Yeah.
Edna relationships.
Edna relationships, yeah.
Ned and Edna relationship.
Bart in crawl spaces.
Yeah. But in the crawl space.
Bart making dummies for other people.
Yep.
Springfield Elementary focused episodes, maybe?
Children riots.
Children rights.
Child abuse.
Child abuse.
What other
Wow.
episode is on
So-
the child abuse list?
Just imagine sitting someone down and going, today we're going to watch my child abuse Simpsons playlist.
Let's
All the
see.
episodes where they abuse children.
Oh, God.
And for some reason your
Oh,
voice just
God.
becomes this.
There's the one where Maggie has access to a gun. There's the
Yep.
one where Maggie goes missing and passes the mob on her way. There's every episode where Bart gets
Oh,
strangled.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
There's every episode where Lisa suffers any kind of emotional abuse.
Yes.
I could go on, I won't though. It's
Yeah.
a little bit
Bart's broken
depressing.
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very abusey.
Let's rank this thing.
Okay.
All right, so on the Simpsons Index, we rank using our patented 6-point scale, which starts at the bottom at failure, or maybe if it was a meh episode, you give it participant, and then the good rankings go bronze, silver, gold, and then for the best of the very best, tippity-top, the essential episodes, those that the Simpsons could not exist without, you give it a cubic zirconia. And I'm going to rank first. Let me show you how it's done. I am giving this one a gold.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Surprisingly high, but
You are the kind one.
I'm the kind one, and a lot of the things I didn't like about this episode were more like whatever. More like, how stupid were they? How could they think that'd work? Why did they think that was funny? I think there's a lot to really like about this episode. So gold for me. BT, take it away.
I'm a little undecided, so let me mull it over for a little bit longer because I was really enjoying it. I started a participant the opening is pretty hardcore participant. We got to a bronze, and I really liked the jokes that are threaded throughout. I got some genuine laugh out loud moments on this one. I would have gone as high as silver, but I really hate that internet ending. Like, it really irritates me. 'Cause
Yeah.
I even wrote down, this one has plot. I like it.
Fuck, you bumped me down.
I know, man. Seriously, I was about to say
No,
gold
you
as
just
well.
totally bumped me down.
I was
shit.
about to say gold, and then I'm like, yep, internet ending.
God, I am powerful.
You're right though. That like last 10 seconds is just not
Yep.
silver.
Let that be a lesson to you kids.
Silver for you too,
there's-
Danny?
Yeah.
There's nothing quite like the truth on your side.
Silver for me. Sheridan?
I'm caught between silver and bronze, and I was about to go silver, but two elements why I'm about to go bronze. The first is the shitty internet ending. The second is that I feel like I was making excuses for this episode because every other episode around this era is so shit that I'm like, oh, they're almost back to what they used to be. But that's not a good excuse. So fuck them. Bronze.
So
Wow.
you're saying
And
you don't like it on its own merit, just compared to where it's
Compared
at.
to-
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a half decent episode, but compared to the ones I've ranked gold and cubic before, it's much less. So yeah, fuck
Oh,
it,
that's a fair
bronze.
point. BT?
I, again, going to go with my guts here. I'm going to say silver because even though I really don't like that internet ending, I think being a product of its time, they're just trying to do something to get some more ratings, and I get that. I don't like it because I really love the plot of this one. I think it's interesting. It had some lasting impact for the characters. I'm going to forgive that stupid bit just because I think everything else is really solid. And I like that they do make some very serious points, that there's some... the second Ned says, I forgive you for that, there's that expression on Mrs. Krabappel's face, and you know that's where it's going. I'm like, yeah, no, this is good to see that.
And that
So-
was, I feel like, something I hadn't really seen a lot. That particular rant of Edna going off at Flanders, I thought that was very unique.
Yeah, exactly. But I think overall, I got enough laughs. I really like the plot. I'm going to silver.
Nice.
Follow the heart guts.
All right, cool. Well, that about does it for our HD era episode. And now we're going back to the Awkward Teens, and we're going to watch Season 17, Episode 18, The Wettest Stories Ever Told.
Elliot, can you say that again with like a fully teenage testy pop voice?
We're going to watch The Wettest Stories Ever Told.
Yay! I get what I want.
Oh, because Awkward Teens.
Yeah, duh.
We're going back to our awkward teens. I was sort of expecting Elliot to cut me off as well.
We are back!
Hey!
And we just watched Season 17, Episode 17, Kiss Kiss Bang Bangalore. First aired in April 2006, and I know what I said before, but I put in the wrong disc and I couldn't be bothered changing it, so we watched this one instead of that other one I said.
Yep.
In this episode, in the A story, Homer gets a transfer to India after Mr. Burns decides to outsource the nuclear power plant to India and puts Homer in charge, and then Homer gets God delusion. And in the B story, Patty and Selma kidnap Richard Dean Anderson, who then becomes obsessive with them. It's weird. Guys, what'd you think?
I didn't like it.
It's a pile of shit.
Yeah, it's not amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
There were funny moments.
When you start with Mr. Burns, I'm usually quite happy.
Yeah.
But
All right, where's this gonna go?
yeah, well, he's called a meeting. They're gonna watch a movie. What's it gonna be?
I didn't like that there was no Kiss Kiss Bang Bang reference to the plot references or
we
anything.
got an Apocalypse Now
Got an
reference.
Apocalypse Now bit. That was kind of
Thank
neat.
you for pointing that out as well, because I have not seen that movie
Which
yet.
is weird because they're in India and Apocalypse Now takes place in Vietnam and Cambodia.
And we are back. Sorry, by the way, if you can hear a little background noise happening at the moment. I do live right near the Enmore Theatre, and at the moment there's...
There are hooligans about.
there are some youths, and they've had a fun time, and they like to keep having a fun time in my driveway.
It's important to express their excitement, you know?
Yeah.
Indoor voices.
Just I wish they wouldn't express their excitement all over the side of my building, but...
Yeah, I hope they
I wish
that
they
down
wouldn't
when they're
leave their
done.
excitement tied up in a condom on the floor the next day either. But
At least they were being safe with their excitement.
Oh, this is unpleasant, isn't it?
Starting out at the start, yeah, it's good to see Mr. Burns, and then...
always delightful to see Mr. Burns.
And I liked all the bit about, we're watching a movie today. Reminds me of back in school when, you get to watch a movie, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
When you walk in
Yeah.
the classroom, there's that little wheelie set up with the VCR and the TV, like, yay!
Yep.
You know, we're going to watch Ken Burns Jazz.
Jazz.
Yeah. But no, they just watched a little documentary about how they're being outsourced. And I liked the ad where it's like, working's too hard.
Is there no solution? Outsourcing. Yeah, that was great. And then, so the entire plant gets shut down except for one employee who gets to get sent to India to oversee things. Guess who that is? Although I like that they decided by having Mr. Burns throw a bouquet into the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's riots. Episodes with riots in them. Hashtag whatever that is.
Hashtag riots.
Yeah. There was a dude wielding a chain. Remind me of like
Carl.
Road Rash.
Carl just brought that chain from home and is just
Dude.
wailing on people in case there was a work dispute today.
Was it Road Rash where you had a chain?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Takes me back.
Yeah, man. But that's for the Mega Drive Index. And yeah, they come back to the Simpsons house, and this is where the string of bad jokes starts with the pain on thermostat, the pain on phone, and then Lisa announcing, Dad, that's Mac tonight. Duh.
We don't know who that is. Moon-headed
Don't
guy.
care.
No,
I don't
yeah.
even, do
It
not
could-
care.
It could have been anyone. It could have been a cutout of the Capital City goofball, and I would have understood it.
Yeah. But yeah, replace it with anything, and it's still not funny. It's still not a joke.
No.
Correct.
Dad, that's a cutout of Darth Vader. No.
You'll obey your dark father.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty lame opening in general to this one.
So then the B story pops up, and I hate this story because they're just explaining.
Oh no! Wait, sorry. No. He does the dial thing and says, "Oh, he'll be here soon." Then he grabs some chalk and draws a guy. There we go. Okay, carry on.
Nice. Yeah. Anyway, and then the B plot pops up with Yeah, so Patty and Selma holding a Richard Dean Anderson convention, and Bart and Lisa there for no reason, and so basically just someone to Patty and Selma to explain.
This is a Richard Dean Anderson convention, and this
who
is
Richard
MacGyver.
Dean Anderson is, in case you forgot.
Yeah, and
It
we're
was-
obsessed with him.
It was a shameless shot of them talking to the camera as well.
Yeah. This is Richard Dean Anderson. He was in a show called MacGyver. We're obsessed with MacGyver. Comes back to what we were talking about before. It would have been fine if they just said they were having a MacGyver convention. We know. We've been watching the show. Patty and Selma like MacGyver.
Yeah.
They need to reinstate it at this point.
Did someone say all of my names? My many names?
What are you doing here, Richard Dean Anderson?
That's my names. Don't wear it out. Is what they should have said.
Yes.
Because I saw that and I'm like, the lesbian joke, guys.
Stargate SG-1.
Yeah.
Turns out, he was lost and he was on his way to his Stargate SG-1 panel.
And he rips on MacGyver and they're all like, but that's the thing we like.
Yeah.
The one and only thing.
Yep. And they also like Nookie in New York, as we've learned from later episodes that were also bad.
There was a good line at the Stargate SG-1 convention, which was something along the lines of, out of all of the Star franchises,
Wars, Trek, Gate,
and
Search.
you are my third favorite.
I liked the lights went off and two silhouettes come and crash tackle Richard Dean Anderson. And
Two
they're
very
all like,
identifiable silhouettes.
Yeah.
yeah, very identifiable silhouettes. And there's all this talking of, get him, tie him up, crang, clong, help me, I'm being kidnapped. And then, minutes later, the lights go on, and then comic book guy goes, she's gone.
And there were at least 50 palm cards that went flying.
Yeah.
There must be a Stargate somewhere in the building.
Then they followed it up with two really terrible jokes of the nerds going, oh, there must be a Stargate somewhere. Oh, nerd. Oh, there's a girl.
Somewhere in the audience.
Yeah.
This is a cult.
Yeah.
Hated that bit so much. It's just, again, nerd stereotypes.
Also, a horde of them just rape molesting poor Willie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felt
Poor Willie and his
uncomfortable.
poor Willie.
Really did. Keep your hands off of Willie.
Hey.
No, like in the episode we saw the other week where Willie's getting, mobbed by the wee turtles. That's funny. Getting mobbed by all the...
turtles. They were too big for me.
So, yeah, and this is all sort of in the same scene. They don't cut back to the A story in all this. And, sort of three plot points happen that could be, a whole episode by themselves, Patty and Selma get disappointed by Richard Dean Anderson. They kidnap him and then hold him hostage and make him sign Selma's boobs.
Yep.
So, yeah, back to the A story. Seeing Homer off at the airport and gives him a motivational book about cereal metaphors.
Yeah, it was really unclear. I mean,
And other things I learned in the kitchen.
Yeah.
yeah.
I sort of like how when it came back at the end and he's on stage doing his speech, there was the bin on stage with the book, he'd only just thrown it out before he was... Anyway, but...
Yeah, but I like that as a bit as it's already in the garbage. That's where he gets it out from.
Wait, we missed the good line when he gets off the
I
plane.
know, I was just about to say when he gets off.
Go, go, go.
I can't remember his full line, but he's like, hey, where's all this stuff, I assume? And the woman goes, typical American. You confuse India with Indiana, Indiana with Illinois, and the Cubs with the Dodgers.
Yeah, that was a good sequence because it was it was word funny. The words sounded funny together.
I know. Illinois. Ha!
And then Homer declares, I hate this subcontinent. Zoom out into the subcontinent of India. In case the audience didn't know that India was a subcontinent. They literally
The
showed
subcontinent.
The subcontinent?
Yeah. Isn't
it's
it
the
just
only
referred to as
subcontinent?
the subcontinent?
It is called the subcontinent.
Really?
There might be others, but they don't get the at the front.
Gotta
Yeah.
love, I don't know what India is, but I know it's a subcontinent.
Yeah, exactly.
From Homer just there.
Homer.
So is that Cronulla Shire? That is the Shire?
Correct.
Yeah.
There are other shires,
Yeah.
but that's the shire.
What's our Shire right now?
The dirty people who've been to a rap concert and pushed shopping trolleys into your house shire.
I was going to say Hobbiton.
Sorry, I'm angry. I just had to fight a bunch of 18-year-olds.
It was glorious.
Oh, God.
There's still blood on her knuckles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just
You should
punched my
really wash that
microphone
off,
You
instead.
think those hands have been soaking in ivory?
No, I know she keeps her hands
Again.
clean by using a lot of elbows.
That's true.
I
Elbow
just had
game
my
strong.
nails done.
I'm a fucking lady. It's delightful to watch.
So awesome.
Anyway.
So heading into Act 2, Homer's fighting with a cow who ate his iPod,
Yeah.
and then he tries to make love to it.
No, he tries to make out to it.
He's
With
showing
it.
he adores it. So he's all like, hey, baby, don't be like that, I guess.
It's so fucking creepy.
It is.
But the weird thing is, it goes on for way too long. Him going, "Oh baby, don't be like
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
budgie," and then the crowd go, "Aw," like that they're into it.
You know what? I just wrote about a bit. Just let me run this by you. So Lisa's on the phone with him. He's like, you have to show that you adore the cow. And he's like, adore a cow? How do I do that? Cracks a beer, skulls it. It's like, this guy here. This guy is the best.
Yep.
Could have done Homer like blushing furiously and going tee and not, avoiding the cow's gaze.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also hate the bit where he's so Apu's hooked him up with his brother,
Yeah.
and he writes the description of him, and it's
Standard-
racist, right? It's
Standard racist. All Indians look alike.
Yeah.
It's the same as all Asians look alike. It feels like a very cheap gag, you know.
It's a bit lazy.
Although I do like the payoff where he like just starts asking people if they're Apu's brother. It's like, you Apu's brother? No. Are you Apu's brother? Yes. Oh, finally.
Yeah. I did like that.
Yeah. But everything else, yeah, it was awkward getting there.
very awkward.
Got some white guilt there.
But the same joke would have worked without the racist bit to start it.
Yeah, even just be like,
Yeah,
there
that's
are
right.
a fuck ton of people in this city.
Yeah.
It's going to take me a long time to find him. I was going to start asking.
Population joke as opposed to physical attributes joke.
Yeah, totally.
Because you know what's never racist? Population census.
You know, the thing about Australians is we live in a country of roughly 22 million people. Am I right?
Oh, they went
Well,
there.
I don't know if you're right because the census website shut down. Someone hacked it and
That
it
was
didn't
the
work.
dumbest. No, it just overloaded and crashed.
We could be a country of 30 million for all I know.
All we know is that we're run by dipshits. So back in the B story, Richard Dean Anderson makes his escape using the bra, and he goes abracadabra. And I know they were going for like a MacGyver silly moment because they have
Yeah.
like the MacGyver synth underneath.
Yeah.
But not only that, the blue contacts that he uses to hide his Latino heritage.
Yeah. It's like the series of
My 200-pound physique.
I do want to check. Might be a continuity joke here. The bra he uses to slide to zipline down, is that not the same bra that when Bart and Lisa were staying at somewhere in Patty's place, the Bart finds in the pantry and is like, ay caramba.
Yep.
Yeah,
Said it before and I'll
continuity.
say it again.
Yeah.
Ay caramba.
Continuity bra.
Makes sense for Selma and or Patty to have a bra that's like 50 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see a better MacGyver escape.
Yeah,
I
it was a
wanted
bit lazy.
It was like one thing. I mean, using the lens was kind of cool as a magnifying glass.
But to use the lens to get rid of his ropes, it should be use the lens to set off a small firecracker that then flips a knife
There's
onto
a
yada
lemon
yada yada.
somewhere with copper in it, and paddle pop sticks and googly eyes. And
Yeah.
So it wasn't illogical enough for you.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't like made out of.
Stick with the googly eyes. What does that go to? Then the cat gets startled, and then
Well, yeah. You remember Bart the murderer? How Skinner explains how he escapes. He gets the cord from the vacuum cleaner and using a discarded cigar tube. I remembered a rockets project from
That's
with a burst of
MacGyver.
Baking
that's
soda.
Every
Yeah,
MacGyver
Yeah.
episode is like a high school science
yeah,
project.
that's a MacGyver escape.
right, okay, but yeah, he was using the objects. Yeah, okay, I
He
get
just
you.
no. I mean, it was a 1-2. It was like rope out window, slide down rope.
Yeah.
That's
Whereas-
not a science project.
Even on The Simpsons, they've had bits like, I don't think me, think the Earth's gravitational pull.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? I think it did work, lame escape or not, because it got him into back into the idea of, hey, I'm MacGyver again.
Yeah,
Even though the first escape was a bit
They did
shit.
need him to kind of get on board with the idea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, let's just talk about the rest of the B story now because it doesn't tie back into the A at
No,
all.
it doesn't
Yeah,
really do
it is
much.
annoying going back and forth, I think.
Yeah, and So he like comes back to thank them. Oh, this hostage situation made me really appreciate being MacGyver, and then he gets all obsessive with it, and then he starts hassling them at work to recreate scenarios. And
It's like, tie me up. This time don't make it easy, so easy. And at first they're like, yes, sir, Richard Dean Anderson.
And they hit him across the head with a hammer twice, really hard.
Oh, that's
man.
right.
And his head sounds like a hollow coconut. And as Beach quite rightly said when we were watching this, yeah, he's dead.
He's dead now.
Yeah.
That was a real hammer. That wasn't like a rubber mallet or something.
No, it was a hammer.
Hidden theme of tonight, a character gets hit twice in a way that makes you go, ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, so now he's wearing a wig and he's like hiding in their house at night and shit and just really fatiguing Patty and Selma.
I made MacGyver burgers. We don't have beef mince. You do have Slim Jim's cheese grater, and I held it together with rubber bands.
Yeah.
Speaking of hidden themes of tonight, also the riots and also someone swimming down a river.
Oh yeah, Burns going down the Ganges.
Ganges.
That was so gross.
Yep.
Yeah, and so the story with the Richard Dean Anderson ends with Patty and Selma showing him a slideshow. Like, again, another bit of Simpsons pre-knowledge
Throwback
required.
sort of thing, I suppose.
And I have to show some appreciation to Selma's holiday outfit. I really like it. It's like this button-up Hawaiian shirt thing with cargo shorts.
Yeah.
And these like Dame Edna-style pointy sunglasses. And
but
she's
just a
got the same
deadpan
expression. Deadpan expression in every photo. I love it.
I didn't like the MacGyver storyline really, and I didn't like how they were explaining it at every turn as well. This is the part where I'm annoying them. This is the part where they get their revenge on me. Like, yeah.
Yep. Very
Anyway.
heavy-handed, very boring.
Back to the A. So you guys really liked Burns' entrance, didn't you?
It was the one
Yeah.
reprieve in an otherwise kind of bland bit.
It was lovely animation. It was really fluid, sensuous dancing. His face was so serene. He was really enjoying himself.
Yeah.
And then he like held the lid like it was one of those what's the sexy dance called where you use like the umbrella and you flash in front of your
it's like Dancing the Seven Scarves or something.
Yeah. And then Smithers is like, "Oh, why are you doing this entrance?" And he's just like, "Oh, I'm melodramatic. I'm
a showman."
Yeah.
I have to say, I
so-
noticed at the very start of this episode, I love Burns' evil music. Whenever he comes on, it's just like do 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 do. It's like when Jafar walks into the room in Aladdin, or when Scar comes in The Lion King. Burns has his own theme.
And that's how you telegraph characters with, musical motifs.
Darth Vader has his
Ooh.
own theme. Burns has his own theme.
Oh, yeah. As well he should.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we need to get our own themes.
So he makes this big entrance, and they do a cutaway gag back to Moe's bar where he basically goes to shoot Carl in the face.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Does he pull the trigger, or does it misfire before he pulls
It's
the trigger?
hard to tell. It looks like it misfires because he pulled
This
the
is
trigger.
like a Han vs. Greedo thing.
Totally. Mo shot first.
Of course he did.
But I don't know, just given the way that Mo was talking then, like, it sounded like he was like, oh, fuck it. That was the last straw, Carl. I'm shooting you in the goddamn face.
Yeah.
To be fair, it exploded in Mo's face and he's fine.
Yeah.
Not very strong bullets, obviously also made in America.
bullets.
Sad.
Tremendous.
And so cut back to India, and Homer does this really long extended cognac reference. And
Oh, yeah.
it's one that also does sort of, like, because we didn't have Johnny Carson in Australia, it's a bit like, what?
Dated. It's like 20, 30 years dated.
Yeah.
Yeah. MacGyver, they have to explain Carson. They're like, the kids know about
Kids
that.
know about Carson.
The only reason I know the Carson bit is from previous Simpsons episode where they've done the Carson bit.
And this is fucking 2006. Carson had already been off the air for like
He'd been
12
dead
years.
for a while.
And cutting to the act break of Act 3 was the Smithers going, oh, Mr. Burns, I don't approve of this arranged marriage. And
Yeah, it just really fell off color for just so many reasons.
yeah. There's a
I
lot
think,
in this episode that do that. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. No, I you're right. I think that having Simpsons' only main, like, recurring gay character being upset about an arranged marriage, you didn't need to make it a fat joke. It could have just been a woman joke.
No, that it was obviously the implication is Smithers is not into women, but then it's like, okay, so Burns has got him for arranged marriage for some reason, and if they had tied it into there's a rich billionaire whose daughter I'd like you to marry, as like a, the consolidation of power. But even then, it's just like, oh, arranged marriages are a thing in India. Let's make a joke about that.
Yeah,
Again, it's the whiteboard humor we've coined before, where you just write everything you can think of about India on a whiteboard and just tick it off one by one.
Let's put that in here somewhere.
It's got nothing to do with anything, and it's not funny, and it's dumb.
No, and they do it again with the scooped out monkey head brain where Burns is going off to a restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't want my scooped out monkey head to get cold.
And that's not even an Indian thing. That's an Indiana Jones thing.
Yeah.
You've confused India with Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones with Indiana, Indiana with Illinois,
Oh,
And the Cubs with the Dodgers.
Beautiful.
and the Cubs with the Dodgers. It goes on and on.
Yep.
So Homer accidentally becomes good at running the plant because he...
No, all the workers are already good at their jobs.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're just
that's
like,
right.
if we
Shit.
applaud, can we just go back to work? Yeah, let's just applaud. So they all, praise him and then just get on with it.
And then he gets the god delusion then where he thinks he's all-powerful and then...
God delusion. Band name. Called it.
But before he does, he says, "No, I'm
It's a
not a
book.
god. God has a white beard and something else." And
Then
all
he
I could
goes,
think was,
Yeah. Yeah. I like that it tends to be a common theme in Simpsons that all like underpaid Indian workers are all really clever and well trained and
Yeah.
good people.
Yeah.
They do the same when they go to China, when they go to India, Japan.
yeah, everyone always outsmarts Homer. They're
Yeah,
just like,
they're
look at, in
always-
their own language, look at this
To be
dickhead from
fair,
America.
that's not hard.
Well, no, but I
True.
mean, the show is always very respectful of other car, not always, but
No.
mostly very respectful of other
It's
people.
respectful to them as people, but as a culture, it pulls all
Yeah.
these really bad
Yeah.
jokes.
That's right. And like as plot points, I like the idea that, they're like, whatever, we'll just get on with work and, shut this guy up by liking him. And then in the next scene, Burns finds out that Homer's told them all about
Workers' rights.
workers' rights and holidays.
pay.
And
Unionize
sick
the
leave.
maternity
workforce.
leave and, all those things that you
Muffin
need.
baskets on your birthday.
And I don't know, did he also tell him about award wages? Like, because... that's a pretty important right that just got stripped away. Fuck you, Malcolm
Penalty
Turnbull.
rates. I don't think they have penalty rates in the States. I could be wrong on that.
I'm pretty sure.
Right
I
in.
think you're wrong. I don't know.
Hey there, listeners. Elliot here, live from the editing bay. Just wanted to stop the podcast for a moment to apologise because there's some audio issues coming up now. There was some static on Danny's mic that we didn't notice while recording, and I tried really hard, but I couldn't completely scrub it out while editing. And look, don't worry, it doesn't last for long, just until the end of this segment, which is around another 12 minutes, and then it comes back to normal for the last segment of the show. Anyway, really, really sorry about that, but also just want to take this moment to say thank you for listening. Like, we really enjoy making this podcast. It's a lot of fun, and we're just thrilled that people seem to like it. All right, so that's enough from me. Let's get back to the show. So what was the Apocalypse Now reference? Like, I didn't get it.
So Homer assumes himself to be a god because he does. And then we transition to Mr. Burns, who for some reason picked up the rest of the Simpson family and come in. And so they're starting off with the boat going up a river. It's got This Is the End by the Doors playing, and that's very prominently featured throughout Apocalypse Now, which is about traveling up a river to kill a man who was a colonel in the army who now is
Thinks he's
worshipped
God
like
and went crazy.
worship like a god. Yeah,
And I'm guessing that's where they're pulling Nom Shivai from.
just kind of the chant.
Well, that actually means vote for the workers' union.
Yeah. But everyone's standing on boats. In this, they're all in Homer uniforms. In Apocalypse Now, they're just in tribal paint. But
Yeah, they didn't run with that, did they? Because then they go inside the plant and Homer's like wearing god garb and everyone else is just wearing what they normally wear.
yep.
Like, way to not run with your own thing.
Hey. Simpsons jokes, especially bad Simpsons jokes, work best in the background rather than pointing them out too much.
I actually kind of missed this joke, but you guys really laughed at it when Mr. Burns says something to Smithers. Smithers like, "I told you Simpson was a bad choice," and he goes something like, "I told your brother to shut the hell up."
I told you so has a brother.
I told you so has a brother.
Shut the hell up.
Nice.
That's pretty good burn from Burns.
Burns burn.
And
Now on Ken Burns' Burns, featuring Monty Burns' best burns.
And yeah, the monkey versus elephant thing made me uncomfortable.
I liked the little, Bugs Bunny cartoon type reference, Acme cartoon reference, where he's like, they're translating the monkey language
Yeah,
to
the
say,
monkey's
nice
going
elephant
so-
wouldn't hurt a little monkey.
Yeah.
See, I thought they'd
That was
go to
cute.
like Indiana Jones bit where the monkeys are like, with the
And then
sword.
the elephant
And
pulls out
just
the gun.
stomps on him.
Elephant pulls the gun. That'd be
Yeah,
good.
why not?
Yeah, and
There's so little left. You're not even missing. it.
yeah, that's basically it.
Before that, they're all like, "This man is not a god," and they're like, "Yeah, we know. He just told us about workers' rights and unions and sick pay and."
Burns fires them all, and they're all like, "Yes, 2 months paid leave, paid
Severance
pay."
Yeah.
and then he says, "Yeah, I'm gonna go, get some.
Workers'
I'm gonna get
Real desperate schmucks.
yeah." I'll go to Springfield. Resets to 0, and then they do a Bollywood fucking outro.
Oh, it was terrible.
Like, and to be fair, much like the Lady Gaga episode, I think we can all assume that all 4 of us are not that crash hot on the films of Bollywood.
Look, I actually don't mind here and there. I mean, as a style, it's gaudy and flamboyant, and it's pretty things to have in the background. But I felt like they dropped canon really quickly. Suddenly, Selma and Patty and Richard Dean Anderson were there. The monkey was swinging the elephant around by its tail.
Another lazy ending, really.
Yeah.
I'm not a Bollywood fan, but I don't think that's relevant. I think it was just a lazy ending.
It was a very lazy ending.
Yeah.
You know what? It was the last thing on the chalk on the whiteboard, and they're like, "How do we fit a Bollywood dance in?
Bollywood.
Last 2 minutes of the
100%.
episode."
Although all the dance moves were so in keeping, like Smithers when he's like doing the fingers,
Yeah. But they dragged
Patting the dog while screwing
yeah,
the light bulb.
Yeah,
But yeah, Smithers' dancing went on way too long. Like it was at the point that you were like, "Is this
they
still
should have
going?"
been fading out as it was happening.
Yeah.
No, it was an all-round just disappointment, and it felt tacky and tacked on.
I would have liked to have seen Burns floating down the Ganges again, doing a dance in the river.
Yeah, what was with that floating down the Ganges? Anyway,
Again, another whiteboard thing.
yep,
Corpses
whiteboard,
in the
tick it
river.
off. Yep. Time for the questionnaire. Let's tick off some questions.
It fucking sucked. Oh, sorry.
Wait,
We weren't
we
there
haven't
yet.
gotten to that question yet. Oh yeah,
Did it fucking suck?
yeah.
Yeah, fucking sucked.
Storyline, yeah, A and B story with the India in the A and the RDA in the B. Did it feel like a no?
I took an RDA in the B once. I don't recommend it.
Did not feel like a Simpsons episode. I could see what they're going for. Their episodes, there are a lot of episodes where they go on the adventure, they meet and greet the culture, and they learn a little bit about themselves, and everything resets to normal. It's classic Simpsons style.
It's Simpsons are going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so gaggy. And same with the Richard Dean Anderson story. It felt like padding, like that neither story could fly on their own.
This is an episode consisting entirely of padding.
Yeah.
So it's where you open up the box and get out the styrofoam peanuts, and they keep more styrofoam peanuts, and then you just got an empty box.
It felt really bad writing, or like clunky writing for me, that they had a plot in India and a plot in Springfield happening simultaneously, and there was no link between them. They didn't resolve together. Like, if you argue why have one in Springfield at all, if you're not going to link them together somehow, if there's no point for it to be there,
and you know
don't be. Isn't it Hitchcock said that? If there's no point for it to be there, don't have it there.
Yeah.
Loaded
Not even
gun
that,
theory.
you could tie it together really easily by, Patty and Selma are trying to get away from Richard Dean Anderson. They're around the Simpsons place. Mr. Burns shows up and says, "Your husband's gone power mad, and I'm going to get him back." And then Richard Dean Anderson's like, "That sounds like a job for MacGyver."
Yeah.
And then that's why they all go.
Yeah.
Would have taken a minute. Boom.
Chess?
What was the question?
Did it
feel-
fucking suck?
Did it? Yes, it fucking sucked.
Play count. How many times do you think you've seen it?
Tremendous.
Thrice.
I mean, once.
Huge.
Once.
I think I
Sad.
may have actually seen it like 2 or 3 times.
Ooh, sad.
I know.
How many times, Chess?
Thrice.
This is your third.
Or did you just want to say thrice? It's a fun
No,
word.
it's
That
once,
too.
but twice, but twice.
It was a happy coincidence.
I reckon this is about my 4th.
No, it would have been good, but you know what this episode was missing? Those pipes from the nuclear plant that led to India.
Yes.
Dance.
Oh, should have installed that first.
Wackiness. Yeah, all the boings, all the
Yeah.
blings, and all the...
None of it needed to be there.
The Burns
Um,
snake charmer. That was wacky.
It's
Yeah,
adorable
Bill Snake
'cause it's
Charmer
Mr.
was good.
Burns.
yeah, like this is like where it's gag wacky bad gag. Like
I didn't mind I'm inviting you to a party because now I'm God, or whatever the card said. That was kind of funny. My phone number will still be the same.
Yeah.
I also really liked behind one of these doors is Homer Simpson. Behind the other is a Bengal tiger.
But they both have tigers in them.
One of the Bengal tigers is named Homer Simpson.
Like, ooh, that's good.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got us.
okay, that wasn't
He got
bad.
us.
That was some good wacky. But the heart. There was no heart.
No.
There's no heart. There was a lot of creepy in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kalima. Someone has pulled the beating heart out of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no, would you watch it again? I mean, did it fucking suck?
It fucking sucked.
Let's rank this thing.
Do we have to?
Take it away, Shez.
Petissa failure.
For something you've been yelling fucking suck the entire time, I'm surprised you're on the you're saying that.
Yeah,
We
but
got so much angry about some of the other ones.
when it comes down to the moment, my anger is all show.
Which side of Petissa failure are you falling on? Though?
Failure.
Failure?
The reason that I struggle to say failure is because that Lady Gaga episode was just the worst of the worst of the worst.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's-
once you've seen the depths of hell, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a little colder here, but it
Yeah,
still sucks.
it's hard to put this on that same level, but it's close.
It doesn't hurt me anymore, you know?
I have no feeling left.
She can't hurt me anymore. What do you reckon, Danny?
I've got to say, participant. Like,
Yep.
it was bland and uneventful. Didn't leave a really bad taste in my mouth, but left me feeling like, hey, if we had some pens and a budget, we could have done this way better, easily.
Sure. All right, BT.
I'm
I'm going to call it a failure.
okay.
Now you're. I'm so sorry. I was trying to do a bit, but I didn't execute it well.
That's
BT,
fine, man.
what did you think?
I'm also kind of sitting on a Petissa failure. Not the most. It doesn't vary into the offensively bad, but it is still pretty damn bad.
Yeah.
To me, it just crosses the line into failure.
Yeah?
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
boring, and I don't want to watch it again. And I'm gonna leave the room if it's on.
I wasn't completely appalled like the
Yeah.
Gaga episode, but I didn't like it.
That has the dubious honor of being worst episode ever for us so far.
I thought,
so.
no, wasn't there one other that you thought
There
was
was.
worse?
I've balanced them out between what's to expect, what Bart's expecting,
That's
and
the
when
one.
Lisa goes Gaga, and I have come to the conclusion Gaga is worse.
Yes, I'm glad you finally got there because
Just,
I haven't seen the other one, but I can't imagine anything worse.
you
than
wanna
that
watch it
Gaga
now?
It was
episode.
so
No.
bad.
And
So,
just-
yeah, failure from you, Beach?
That's a failure.
Yeah, it's a failure from me as well. Yeah, the offensive race stuff like countered the stuff about the plot that I did like. And yeah, there was good things that they could have worked on, and like you said, bottle of whiskey and a few pens, we could have done a way better job of it. So, and yeah, the whole Richard Dean Anderson thing announcing the plot of fuck it. All right, so we're going into our classic episode now, and just before I do, some of our more astute fans would have noticed that on the competition section of the website, as you know, we have our monthly competition where you suggest a Simpsons episode. If we pick your episode, I send you a prize box. Now, some of you might have seen that on the competition page, there was a special mystery set of episodes that if you guessed what the link was between the episodes, you could win an extra big prize box. And someone did it. Someone noticed that we hadn't reviewed an episode 11 of any season since we'd started.
What?
Now,
Wow,
yeah.
that is astute.
I know that's sharp.
I didn't intend for it. I noticed around episode 22 that had happened, that I hadn't reviewed a single episode 11. And just thought to run with it and sort of hit a hidden competition inside the competition, but it took someone about 4 weeks to figure it out. So
I'm
Good
still
effort.
impressed, man. That's
so
good.
anyway, congratulations to Tricia Bogumill, who said that her and her Simpson trivia pals figured that one out. So we've got an extra big prize box with 11 prizes in it there for you.
Nice.
It was
Good
part
on
of
you,
the mystery.
Tricia.
I can't believe
so-
people listen to us that much.
I know.
I know, it's flattering,
Enough to
isn't it?
notice that stuff, right?
If I could blush, I would.
And she suggested that we review Lisa's Date with Density from season 8. This
Is
is
that
the
a Back
one.
to the Future reference? Date
look,
with
yeah,
density?
Yeah. I'm
That's
your density.
awesome.
Yeah.
But no, this is the one where Lisa goes out with Nelson Muntz.
Oh, because he's dense. It's not a Back to the Future reference. Still,
Now-
I am your density.
So anyway, yeah. So to congratulate Tricia on winning, yeah, we're gonna review Lisa's Date with Density, and
that.
that's all the mustard in the house. That's my new catchphrase.
Oh, God.
Wubba lubba dub dub. That's my new thing. That's what I say.
Grass tastes bad.
Lick, lick, lick my balls.
Leave that with the Rick and Morty index. Till then, I want to hear you say that mustard thing more often. That's all the mustard in the house.
We are back. We just watched our classic episode for the evening, as suggested by Tricia. It is Season 8, Episode 7, Lisa's Date with Density. First aired in December of 1996.
Wow.
And in this episode, Lisa develops a crush for the schoolyard bully Nelson Muntz. And in the B story, Homer obtains an auto dialer and scams the town of Springfield $1 at a time. Guys, what'd you think?
Dude, it was so good. It just left me feeling so good about it.
Yeah.
My feels, I have them.
This is what I needed after that last medium ochre episode, and the episode before, which was like, yeah, hey, this is decent, but you know, it's not like classic
We're gonna
era.
fuck it up at the end with a whole lot of.
Yeah.
Why don't you dial into our phone scam? Sorry, internet scam.
And then bam, just this could not have gone better. I'm very happy about this one.
This was great. A good old Lisa Feels episode as well. But the thing that I was surprised with, you think about it as the Lisa Nelson episode, but I think you pointed it out, man. There's a lot of excellent Millhouse in this episode.
There's a lot of Millhouse. Oh man, poor guy just gets ripped apart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get to the beginning where Superintendent Chalmers is telling Skinner about his new car.
Skinner!
That's how the thing opens.
Yeah, opening line. Skinner!
Beautiful, beautiful start. Grab you by the attention, and you know what they say when you've got their attention firmly in your fist, their hearts and minds will follow.
I'm sure that's how that saying goes.
You can squeeze their attention. You can give it a twist.
My attention feels vulnerable right now.
As long as you and your attention have a safety word. So yeah, I love Chalmers' line here of, I always thought a car was all about getting from A to B and on weekends C. Just great phrasing.
That was before I laid eyes on a Honda Accord.
Yeah.
It was like
Oh my
1987
God.
Honda Accord. I've never noticed it's a shitty car before.
It is
Oh,
such
yeah.
a shitty car.
I was just never paying that much attention.
Yeah.
But like for its day, wasn't it like...
No, I think that's the
No,
entire...
it is the teacher's
He's
car.
even got the line in it, well, I'm on a superintendent's pay wage. That covers both food and car.
Such a subtle dig at Skinner as well. He's usually not so actually negative to Skinner, but like Skinner's all like, oh, I have to pay off my mommy. And
Yeah.
Superintendenter's like, I make way money, you poor piece of
Enough to
shit.
afford to feed myself and own a vehicle.
But shock horror, the shiny silver H has gone disappearing from his hood.
Gasp.
Audible gasp.
How will people be impressed with his car?
How are you going to know it's a Honda?
And at this stage, they cut to Homer, who's at the Quickie Mart, and I like this scene because he loads... This is the one where he loads the donut up with lots of candy and tries to pass them off as sprinkles to Apu.
Twister
Yeah.
is not a sprinkle.
And that's what donuts is now. They
Yeah.
are,
I know,
like,
right?
a Jolly Rancher is a sprinkle now.
Yep.
A Twizzler is definitely a sprinkle.
Yeah.
It's a different world.
Mars bar. I know it was a Mound bar, but in Australia, Mars bar, totally a sprinkle
I
now.
know. Well,
Yeah,
Matt, this
Mars
is,
bar donut. That actually sounds unadventurous for donuts these days.
it really does.
It's more like red velvet maple bacon donut.
What is this, in 1996? I mean, 21 years later, donuts have come a long way.
Holy fuck.
I know.
21
Roll that
years.
word around.
21 years.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm old, Elliot. I'm an old man now.
Yep. See, when you were watching this episode, you were like in primary school or some shit.
Going, man,
Yeah.
someday I'm going to own a Honda Accord.
Someday I'm going to own a donut with a Mound bar on it.
And now you can't get anything that isn't salted caramel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was funny, but this leads to Homer seeing the cops dumping
Evidence
all
from
the property of Jimmy the scumbag.
I really expected better from Jimmy the scumbag.
Yep.
Man, Wiggum just like talking about what life in prison's going to be like
Yeah.
for him.
Oh, wow.
Fuck.
Wow.
So dark.
But I love that, yeah. But it has the payoff when he goes, yeah, the only way out is suicide. And this cuts to telemarketing, hey?
Yeah.
Homer
You're
just-
going to get beaten and raped and shat on by the guards, and you're going to eat grubby, mealy worms, and we're going to fucking... We're gonna love it. We're gonna sit you down and we're gonna put you in a fucking electric chair, and now maybe we'll pull the trigger. Maybe we won't. You know what? It went on. It was like that, but worse.
Yeah.
The
And then
only way
Homer's just
out-
like, telemarketing, eh?
I can't see anything wrong with this.
I think it's a great Homer bit.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you might know it at home. This is Homer and the auto dialer. Send $1 to Happy Dude. Let's talk about everything with the B story now, except the ending when the two stories come together.
Sure, why not?
But yeah, Marge's a little interrogating, like, but you're not going to scam our neighbors, are you? Let me show you how it works.
Yep. So sets up the happy dude, just send $1 to be as happy as me.
Yep, and tries it out on Burnsy, and be happier with the $1.
No, I love Mr. Burns just coyly playing with the phone cord, showing this. Again, just everything Burnsian is my favorite.
And playing with the $1 too.
Playing with $1, being like, happiness or $1? You really watch him weighing it up.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I think I choose the $1.
Like it's actually just a quick, cute little story that they just cut to every now and then, and it's actually good that they managed to tie it back into the main plot somehow.
I feel like someone got really excited when they figured out how to bring the two together.
I really like the Frink bit
Yeah.
where he gets dialed and he just hears Homer on the thing and he's like, why, it's the AT5000. My very first patent.
I hope your wheels still work. But before that, he says, no, a knight can't move like that, you stupid arm. Just playing chess with a robotic arm.
Yeah.
Fighting with the arm. But yeah, the wheels was so great. It is so inventory.
Classic
Yeah.
Frink.
Yeah.
Mad inventor shit.
Of course he'd build in wheels so it could come home eventually.
In the event that someone stole
Come
it.
home to Frinky.
Yeah.
And of course, then Homer just chases it down and snaps all its legs off.
Yep.
Like you do to any child that runs away.
Oh, yeah. That's the way to
But
keep
he
him
was so nonchalant and unsurprised that no you don't.
Yeah, it wasn't a, what the hell? It's a, no. And,
Bad magic machine.
I do love him quickly driving home that one day, stopping the car, jumping out, getting to
he's
the
so
Oh,
mailbox.
playful.
Woohoo! $2.
Oh, and poor Abe and Jasper just sitting there in the
Feel any
dark.
happier? A little.
Yeah.
I think to someone of Homer Simpson's intellect, trying to use the word in generously.
The diplomatic term.
Yeah. To someone of Homer's intellect, all machines are magic machines, essentially.
Yep.
And probably to us as well. Fair is
Well,
fair.
there's
Fair is fair.
the old, was it Clark, who says any sufficiently advanced technology will be
yeah.
indistinguishable from
Damn,
magic.
We've
but
quoted Hitchcock and Clark.
if you're an idiot, then all technology becomes indistinguishable
True.
from magic. So whereby...
Shit, man, I don't know how a fucking audio interface works.
Dude, I don't
or
even know how the
laptop.
erasable pen works. So
I'm surprised I've gotten this podcast out to people who I don't know.
It's amazing, isn't it? But yeah, man. To Homer, every machine is a magic machine. So
The
why
fact that
would
it
he be
sprouts
surprised?
legs.
Yeah. Oh, it's doing machine stuff.
yeah, machines do that.
Maybe this is what. Yeah.
Hey, when you put a man on the moon, why can't a telemarketing machine have wheels?
Always comes back to the moon. But yeah, the machine does fuck up and get stuck calling Flanders. And I like how they cut back to this again when a bit later. But yeah, just the whole thing of them arguing so loudly that it'd piss off Homer as well. Like,
Oh, man.
bringing the annoying circle full circle.
Yep. It is weird and hilarious.
And yeah,
lovely.
so on point for Flanders as well. I can't, what if my mother calls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although you really get like the boot from Maud, who's like, you shut it up, you unplug the phone now, or you're sleeping on the lawn. Not
On
even,
the lawn.
Not even the couch. Not even in your weird Beatles collection.
Yeah.
Like on the lawn. I
Yeah.
think I'm starting to agree with Sheridan from last episode. She may have had death coming.
She's hardline.
Oh yeah, you might have noticed, fair listener, that she has disappeared.
Fair listener. Yeah, no, it's accurate. They're all beautiful people.
You're all beautiful people, especially you.
Tricia. With that brain that figured things out.
So yeah, Sheridan. What happened to Sheridan?
Well, last we saw of her, she just
She
yelled,
was elbow deep.
"Them damn kids are back!" Jumped through Elliot's window, which is tough because you have bars on your windows.
Yeah.
And then just started hitting them. And the last thing we heard was squelching.
Dull thuds.
Yeah.
The sound of meat.
Please,
being minced.
stop, he's already dead. You know.
So that about does it for the happy dude portion of the
No way
show.
out except suicide.
Until the end. But we'll get back to that.
I really
We'll
just
get
before we move on, I want to actually just say the same thing Elliot's already said, but I really like Homer getting so angry at Ned and Maud arguing about the thing. It's like that gag could not have been funnier. There's no other combination.
There's no version of it.
Yeah, they're like,
That's
well,
better.
we've got to have someone getting called about this again and again and getting angry. But or it's the middle of the night. Someone's got to get angry at them. It's perfect circle to have Homer just like screaming at them about Homer the fucking calling
About the
them
fact
all
that
the
he keeps
time.
interrupting them.
It's amazing. It's so tight.
And they don't ever get pissed off at Homer, even though it's clearly him.
Yeah, but they don't know. Well, true. They should know his voice. Quite frankly.
Yeah.
And the address.
Also true. Wait a minute. That sounds like our neighbors.
Yeah, so that about does it for Happy Dude, yeah?
I think so.
We're back at the start of the episode.
Yeah.
The H is still missing from Super Nintendo Chalmers' car.
Yeah, they've tried busting the one off Kearney's Hyundai.
Oh,
It doesn't
Kearney
work.
was not happy with that.
No.
And they run away like little kids.
Yeah, that's
Busted.
right.
And so Skinner goes door to door lockering. This is sort of like I love the Bart gag there.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't look in there. Oh, I will.
I'm just gonna get my face right in there.
half a dozen eggs. Well, there's the other dozen.
It's the full dozen.
I love we can count the number of eggs that hits his face at one point at one time.
And so then he gets down to. We cut forward a few more lockers, and we get down to Nelson's. I love this moment where Nelson is just such a cool cat that no wonder girls are swooning. Where he's just like, well, this just leaves Nelson months, and he's just like, yeah, bitch.
What are you gonna do about it?
That's it.
Oh, well, who's haw-hawing now? I don't know, but he's got bad tuna breath.
Yep.
Ooh.
Killer.
Pries open Nelson's locker, and there's nothing there. No! Beating against the wall and ka-tunk, fake back.
Double bluff.
And there's a principal's ransom worth of stolen goods, including the missing H.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff.
And around this time, they plant the seed with Lisa and Milhouse there, where what do people like want?
Why does Nelson have to be so cool all the time? Who do you think is impressing? And Milhouse is like, not me.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So that was planting the seeds for Milhouse's
Why
jealousy
does he
over
have
the
to be
whole
so
situation.
cool all the
Yeah.
time?
So then Skinner sentences Nelson to the
I
worst
like
work
that he
known to
sentences
man.
Nelson as
Yeah.
well.
Janitorial work. I'm all right. Here or
man.
so. Well, yes.
And then
Take a
there
good
was
look.
the-
This is your future.
What a motherfucker, man.
know,
It's
I
like
know.
really, Willie is just there to get shat on again and again. Poor guy.
That Willie only takes a certain amount of slapping around. Until that one where they're snowed in, he literally says, that's the last time you slap your Willie around. It's not even me doing this. It's not even me.
Oh man.
I'm not juvenile. I'm just referencing Titmouse. But anyway, so then we go to Lisa's in music class, naturally, where they're talking about, we'll play Pop Goes the Weasel, then Star Spangled Banner, and then if we're called back for an encore, Pop Goes the Weasel again.
Sorry, skipped over the people getting their loot back.
Oh, yes, we did too. Well,
Yeah, this episode is so dense. It's our date with a
right.
dense episode. Yeah, so
Pacing-
they're in the
pacing
school
is
gym,
magical.
and Principal Skinner said, okay, you've got to give back everything you've stolen and apologize to everybody. And I love how he stole smokes from Mrs. Krabappel.
Just goes, shove it, ma'am.
Yeah. And yeah, he totally kicks Lisa in her big butt.
I know.
Man, yeah. He's just like, dang, Lise, your ass is legit. It don't quit.
He's not up to that yet. He's just, your butt's
36,
big.
24, 36, not unless you're 19 foot tall.
God damn, you're so good at quoting these episodes.
That was Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Baby got back done as badly as I could possibly
I
manage.
think it's not unless she's 5'3" or
Yeah.
something like that. 19 feet tall. This Ginormous one will destroy us all. So yeah, but then you've got Lisa. Yeah, Lisa calls him out and says, "Why do you got to be a jerk all the time?" After getting her microscope back, and he's like, "I don't know. Why's your butt so big?"
And just totally kicks the poor girl in a big
Kicks her
butt.
over in the butt.
There is actually a later on episode which Lisa's big butt is a part of the storyline.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa gets some body image problems. Feels she has a big butt. So there's precedent. Maybe Lisa does have a big butt. We can't really tell on this animation.
Hard to tell, yeah.
And I don't really want to think about an 8-year-old animated girl's butt.
No.
So moving on.
So yeah, and Lisa's in her music lesson, and yeah, the pop goes the weasel bit, and then this is with the legendary bit where Nelson is on groundskeeper Willie duty, and the noozle on the end of the hoose.
The noodle on the end of the house.
A moose.
Noodles? What noodles?
The noozle.
And then this is followed up by bit number 2.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So
Just as good.
Lisa's laughing at him, and she's like, "Oh, no, I was just laughing at something outside." And he's like, "Lisa likes Nelson." It's like, "She does not. Janie likes..."
No.
Millhouse next.
Millhouse likes Lisa. He does not.
Janie likes Millhouse. Uda likes Millhouse. No, nobody likes Millhouse. Again, just a there's an actual joke there. It's just a great collection of words. And why did the kids repeat Millhouse twice at the end? Why did they skip
They all
over?
got confused. Chinese whispers.
And
Classic.
It's that great little schoolyard thing where you just be like, "Oh my god, you looked at a girl."
Yeah,
You totally
like a
it.
girl.
Oh my god, cooties.
And then, I mean, nobody likes Millhouse is such a good punchline because nobody likes Millhouse.
The teacher has to interrupt this entire chant to remind them that, "No, children, you're wrong. Nobody likes Millhouse."
But yeah, it's one of the common bits you see on the Simpsons Against Liberals page where it's nobody likes Malcolm Turnbull or nobody likes Abbott. So yeah, Lisa gets in trouble for starting this whole hoo-ha, and she has to write on the chalkboard 50 times, "I will not be a snickerpuss."
For those of you playing at home, once again, learning words on the Simpsons Index, we have someone who laughs a lot at silly things.
Wow.
Is a snickerpuss.
Oh my god.
Someone that snickers.
Someone that snickers. There we go.
Did you know it's a Supperkins backwards?
I did not know that.
There you
but
go.
now we know.
I want to go to the Supper Kings for
battle.
dinner sometime. They sound delicious.
While writing out, I know I will not laugh like a stickerpuss. I will not be a stickerpuss 100 times. Nilsson interrupts, and she's like, "I'm only here because of you, jerk." And he's like, "Yeah, well, you're doing that the stupid way. Use the doohickey with the 6 chalks to draw the staves, and that'll go much faster."
5.
I was a teacher.
5.
You went to music uni, damn it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I paid attention.
I was a teacher making someone write 500 times. I wouldn't leave that right next to where she's writing 500 times.
Well, he didn't think of it either.
And then empty the room. Also, I mean, I pointed out there, and it's not important, but there was no ladder there, and she'd clearly written like 7 feet high in on the blackboard.
Yeah.
There's no way that happened. Maybe she like jumps for every stroke.
Check. A wizard did it.
Oh,
The dealie with the 5 chalks has an extender arm.
Yeah.
So yeah, after Lisa takes up Nelson's advice, she starts looking at him and she can't stop staring at him. And I like in this moment that she's falling for him and she goes...
While he's trying to knock down a nest of bees with a rake.
I'll get to the bees, but I like in this moment how she goes, he sure is ugly though. Like, I thought that was just a really funny telling thing of how she was falling for him.
Yeah. I like that we, the audience, know, she's falling for him. It's like, he sure is ugly, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, little sudden misdirect, but then you're like, nope, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Lisa's got a crush.
And then Nelson lobs the beehive at Willie. Catch the football.
All right, I'll...
Yeah, and Willie is so, up for it. All right, I'll give it a... No!
He's such an optimist.
Yeah.
Poor
A
Willie.
swell guy.
Poor Willie.
Well, now he's a swollen guy.
Oh, not as swollen as Millhouse in the next scene. I keep getting my Nelsons and my Millhouses mixed up.
Mixed up.
Mixed up.
You
Nelson
keep getting
and
your mix and your mixes mixed up.
This is a dense episode,
It is.
man.
Oh,
There's
so much going on. So yeah, Lisa is at lunch and says, "Oh, you won't believe it! I finally have a crush on someone. It's Nelson." And he breathes milk out of his nose so hard his milk explodes, and
Pops
it rains
the
milk
popper.
for a good 2 seconds.
Beautiful
amazing.
animation.
Absolutely. So
And yeah, you could say I want to bring out the Millhouse in Nelson, but I'm all Millhouse. Like, this poor guy,
man.
he's just so blatant, and Lisa's just so like, yeah, I don't like you.
Just layers
But
on
can
that.
you give Nelson this in class?
I love the next
man.
bit. It's so mean but so funny.
Yeah.
Just passes the note down. Oh, sorry, we first got the Millhouse. Just do whatever she said. Once she knows she'll do anything she says, she'll be... Fuck, I can't remember how it ends.
She'll respect you.
She'll finally respect you, me.
She'll finally respect you. Like, women. Am I right? We've all been a Millhouse.
Haven't we all? Yeah, let's just replace Friend Zone with Millhouse. Man, I'm in the Millhouse.
Oh, break.
Yeah, tough. Asked her out and she just said, I see you as more of a Millhouse.
Oh, that's the
I
worst.
know, wow. I just came up with the sweetest burn a woman will ever give me. So yeah, Millhouse then passes the note down to Nelson in class. It's just a, guess who likes you? Kind of pans back and he's just eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing the twiddly fingers.
Smash cut to Gurney getting wheeled into an ambulance.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you reckon he did that in class as well? And like, or
I think it was immediate, yeah.
Yeah.
There was no even like pause.
but he was able to just walk away from it, even though he beat him so severely that they had to pack his ears with gauze.
There's only so much detentions you can give a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Just let him kill people.
They've already got him on janitorial duty.
Yeah.
There's no lower, according to Skinner, so...
So we'll just tolerate violence. So Lisa admits to Nelson that she's got a crush on him, and they sort of have this awkward little, so what do you think about that?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, she invites him over to the Simpson house. And I like it in this moment as well because it was a scene transition where, yeah, that was when Homer was giddily hopping home. And so the next scene took place in the Simpsons house. And it's something that just not that important, but it like...
It transitions slightly, because we go back to the B plot, then that gives us a location, then we go back to A
Yeah.
in the same location. It works.
Totally. And she's trying to put the kitty in the cradle, and I just feel like I've seen this so many times throughout my life. Oh, you should see my pet do it. She loves
It's
it.
the cutest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, any second
Totally
now.
misreading the situation there. Bringing the big bully over to your place and...
But also like that Lisa is 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so 8 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, what'd she think he'd like? Like, her girly room and decorations, happy little elves, and...
Well, but yeah, I mean, she's a smart person, but also she's 8, and this is what she thinks is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I actually really like that bit. It's one of those, we've talked about it before, the few moments where the kids feel like kids, and to me, this is one of those points.
Yeah, like, there's times when they do, like, kids having romantic relationships in the newer episodes, and they sort of do, like, them doing adult things, but this is kids falling in love and still doing kids things.
Yeah. And then Bart walks in, freaks out, and Nelson's there and gets the great line like, Lisa, I'm never going to say this again, but you can do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the one the note I want to read out is, well, Millhouse likes you. Yeah, Millhouse likes Vaseline on toast.
It's so amazing. I've said that a million times in my life because, like, everyone knows what that's from, and everyone
It's
knows
so
what...
indicative of just how bland a fucking wet fish of a kitty is.
But Vaseline.
I know.
I just super love my sequence of notes here is Lisa likes Millhouse, nobody likes Millhouse, Millhouse note dash eyebrows, Millhouse likes Vaseline on toast.
Millhouse likes Vaseline on toast.
Nobody likes Vaseline on
This
toast.
kid, the unwritten star of this episode.
Absolutely, and I never noticed, and it's great.
Yeah, so Nelson returns the favor and invites Lisa back over to his place, and
We don't have many people over since Dad went nuts.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it.
right.
It's not much, but it's...
I think we've got to watch
very
that
dark.
Nelson Dad episode soon. It's gonna...
Yeah, I think we got a lot of confirmation on Barney actually being Nelson's dad. We've discussed it before, I think.
Yeah.
He's donated a lot of sperm. They look exactly
They
the
have
same.
identical faces.
Yep.
And
But,
you know Nelson's a future alcoholic.
Yeah. So when we do then quickly go to a bit, I've noticed the Nuke the Whales post before, but this is the first time I noticed the other two bumper stickers that are up there. One, bomb the Arabs will take their oil, and Bob the Indians will take their casinos.
Yeah.
And then Nuke the Whales, and Nuke the Whales is the one Lisa has a problem with.
Yeah. Gotta nuke something.
And I've definitely had gotta nuke something as
I
like
know,
an
right?
excuse before.
But yeah, so horrible, right?
Yeah, it's like, I never know. It's one of those bits you gotta stop and go, wow.
Yeah.
I think it says a lot about how focal points work in an episode. You know you're supposed to pay attention to that one because it's bigger and it's colored and it's what the...
Got a picture and
it's got a picture and it's what the character is looking at, so you naturally look at it and miss the way hardcore other bumper stickers there.
Oh, they're much funnier. I mean, they're on the nose, but it's got a beautiful irony to it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
The Indian one's a great punchline.
Take a seat.
But yeah, it's having a silly little joke, but about a horrible subject. But it's also painting Nelson as a character.
Yeah, and it's the world through the eyes of a 10-year-old.
That's it. He has no political stances. He just likes bombs on posters.
Bombs
Yeah.
and taking people's stuff.
Yeah,
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it probably upsets people as well, and he likes getting a reaction. And
that's it.
and it was actually the first time I noticed his doormat was from the Quickie Mart as well. Nice little touch as well. Yeah, sings his song on his guitar.
Joy to the world.
Yep.
Teacher's Day.
Him tuning up the guitar. That guitar was clearly not tuned right. He was tuning that to, I don't know, open G country tuning.
Would make sense for him. I think.
That wasn't the sound of the open strings when he
Not
strummed
the right
it.
sounds.
No.
Clearly, what is this? Some kind of magical string?
Oh, maybe that just feeds Nelson's character more. He's so dumb he doesn't know how to tune a guitar. What a dummy.
Let's go with that one. I like that one.
Yep.
That'll do.
I have a Bachelor of Music, by the way. I have authority to say
I
that.
don't know if we mentioned it before, but we're all music students, and some of us forget how many lines are in a stave sometimes.
And so, yeah, Nelson just totally acts like a piece of shit, doesn't do anything to entertain her, totally just entertains himself, and then it's like, yeah, I'm going to bed, go home.
And it's like, well, how am I supposed to get home? I should have thought of that before you came over.
Yeah, oh, so horrible and just, I guess you should have. Anyway, sleeping.
Yeah. It does this weird next scene where Marge is driving Lisa home, and she's like, I'm such an idiot. I can't, that kid's, there's no sensitive side to him. And Marge is just like, oh, no, you can change a man. Anyone who thinks you can't is just a quitter. When I first met your father, he was a loud, boorish slob, and now he's so much better. And Lisa's like,
he's a whole new person,
person.
Lisa. Really dark window into Marge's psyche.
Well, not only that, but Lisa takes that advice on board. He's like, yeah, maybe I can change him.
Yeah.
Like, didn't you just hear and disagree with everything Marge just said? So if I have a problem with this episode, it's that bit. It's like she recognizes that's not true, but thinks she can do it even though her example didn't work. Bit weird. But it then moves to Lisa dressing Nelson up.
Shopping.
Oh my gosh, shopping.
It's a staple of every date montage the stepping out of the wardrobe in the ensemble.
Yeah.
Most deaf.
Oh, they didn't do the whole multiple outfits, and she did her thumbs down on some of them, but then some she was like, yeah.
They could have done the whole 9 yards of it. Sure.
Playing over the top of a Dress for Success.
The catwalk, you know what I mean.
Not bad. I'm sticking with Dress for Success.
Yeah. What's that?
I'm gonna get dressed for success. Doing it something 80s tune and get dressed for success. Yeah.
Or Jitterbug. Jitterbug works.
Classic clothes
That
montage
has to be more
song.
than just clothes. You got to move on from clothes, though. Like
It
having a
depends,
fun
as long
day
as
at the
you're
mall.
bouncing around as you're doing it. You
Do
know?
the coffee and then have a petrol fight.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
Freak gasoline fight accident.
Yeah, and she goes shopping, and then they go out on a moonlight picnic, and then we have the big kiss. And I like that Nelson only did it to just shut her up.
I do like before that. It's like, so what are you thinking? No, nothing. What do you feel? What's inside you? Guts, black
Guts
stuff.
and black stuff.
Slim Jims.
About 50 Slim Jims.
It's... Yeah, he's so frank as well, and I guess that's another thing. He just keeps being himself throughout all this.
Yeah, he never pretends to change.
And the rest of the bullies find them after the kiss, and you kissed a girl. That is so gay. And it's 2017. That's so gay. Jokes are dumb and
No, but within this context, I still love that joke. It's also in.
It's got the extra layer of cleverness about it.
It's also in Shaun of the Dead and Spaced, where he's like, we have to go and save Liz. Why? She dumped you because I love her. All right, gay.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's sort of saying more about their character and them being stupid and thinking any love is just gay.
Yeah.
It's code for embarrassingly emotional.
Yeah. Oh, you're showing emotions. gay. But yeah, I do also like the bit where they threaten Lisa and Nelson tells them to back off and just goes straight to Jimbo. Yeah, why don't you go home, James?
Yeah. I like that, before she went and had a fig bar, she called him Crumb Bum.
Oh my God.
And then Skinner brings that back as well.
Kind of as a weird negative because Lisa's like to all the other bullies, hey, he doesn't want to hang out with you anymore. She's all like, tell your friends to fuck off, you're with me now. And it's like, in that just, ooh.
Yeah, he definitely never agreed to any of that.
No.
So, yeah, he goes off with Lisa, chooses them over the bullies, even though they had the enticing offer.
I guess that's her trying to change him.
Yes, it is. But,
and he just had a kiss and realized, I kind of like this. And he's like, yeah, I'm going for this.
Yes, they were smooching up a storm. Still determined to use that more often in life.
But yeah, sends Lisa home. The bullies go over to Skinner's to peg rancid coleslaw at his house. And I like it because it does bring Skinner back in. And, from the start of the episode, embarrassing Nelson all for that whole start of the episode. So he's like taking personal revenge out on him now.
Yeah, it's got a thread. And then Nelson shows up and is like, of course I'm going to be here with you guys, hawking things at people's windows. But then the cops show up and everyone, they what's the word? Hang on. Serple.
Serple?
Serple. If you ever need a rhyming word for purple, serple. It's to run off in different directions.
Come on, really?
Look it up, actually. I'll do it
Cool,
now.
that's 3. Serple, purple, whirlpool. You kind of got to run whirlpool a bit together.
Whirlpool's a bit of a power rhyme.
Yeah.
Serple. If that's a real word, I mean, he's solved that one.
So the bullies, peg rancid coleslaw all over Skinner's house with Nelson, and apparently Nelson does something to his bird's nest.
Brandishing your bare buttocks is only making me madder. Seymour, I want to see what's going on.
Yeah,
no, mother,
Agnes
don't
does
look
not
out
want
the
to see
window.
what's going on.
Yeah. And then the bullies cheese it, and then Nelson quickly goes to the Simpson house and, gets Lisa to hide him.
Hide him till the heat's off.
Oh, so this is when the stories join, and
Yes.
so the cops go to the Simpsons house. Oh, that's why they had to leave the Simpsons house.
Yep.
Because Nelson thinks that the cops are there for him, but no, the cops are there to shut down the auto dialer.
Yes.
Which Wiggum just puts 3 bullets right into it. It's like, this thing's been driving everyone crazy.
Oh, and Homer, your court date's in June, and be sure to bring that evidence, otherwise my case is ruined, You
get the great Eddie Lou bit. I can't remember what they say. But,
hey, Chief, shouldn't we be chasing down those rascals with the
rancid coleslaw?
Guys, I can't be ever 2 places at once, okay? In other cities, Chief of Police doesn't even go out on calls like this. And they're like, yeah, we know.
Sorry.
We're actually really
Count
lucky.
our blessings.
I know. I love that because he could be sitting behind a desk going, the mayor's going to have my ass for this. But instead, no, he's out there every day busting his hump, chasing people down.
No, it was a cute bit with Wiggum and the other cops.
I know. It was really adorable. I actually super love that bit.
And so, Lisa and Nelson are at the observatory, and they're looking at the town through the binocular thingies that you get there, binocular scopes.
Yep, that's the term.
Yep. Coin-operated
binocular scopes.
They're the fanciest things to Nickelodeons,
Came out in the 1920s and never been beat since,
Where everybody ate cotton candy and watched films with only piano.
Piani.
Damn. My authentic 1920s character isn't so authentic,
Oh, God.
Hey, you trying to flim-flam me there, fella? Audience at home, try the word flim-flam. It's delightful.
All right, I'm going to get the Dickens out of here. See you later, buddy. And so Nelson lets it slip that he was at Skinner's and professed to Lisa that he didn't have anything to do with it before.
Yep.
It's like, you're lying. No, I'm not. You just lied again.
Yeah.
When he left in his bird bath. No.
Beautiful. Skinner does the best nose.
He does.
And I like that little breakup here, sort of where she was like, this is tiring. And
no, she was like, I thought I could change you into a sense of person. He's like, yep, that was dumb.
Skinner could get into rhinoplasty because he does the best nose.
Oh.
Boom! Mic drop. I won't drop.
You got to
the
knock
mic.
over the whole stand for that.
Yeah.
It's a lot more effort. Doesn't look as cool. And so Lisa on the walk back home passes Millhouse, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I can't talk to you because Nelson will beat me up." And she's like, "No, we went our separate ways." And he's like, "Oh, You got anyone in mind for your next crush? No. Guess it could be anyone. And there's a great freeze frame. Yes.
Yeah.
Strangling his own dog by
Strangling the
accident.
Velociraptor.
Yeah. Yeah, that poor dog.
Beautiful freeze frame.
Freeze frame, very 80s-y. In fact, freeze
yeah.
framing in the Yes is a very 80s moment. I know it's a reference. I think it's John Cusack.
It's a little bit Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club, yeah.
But even just any kind of... they all freeze framed at the end of those kind of movies.
Yeah.
And then followed by one of the earliest examples of a post-credits bit where we see Homer's court-mandated apology and,
This is sorry, dude.
Yeah, this is sorry, dude. As I've been ordered by the court to apologize to all of you, and then still asking for $1 at the end of that if you accept his apology.
The other thing is that I'm sure that line, is this goodbye? Let's just call it smell you later. That's a pretty famous reference. It's beautiful, but I'm sure it's a huge reference, and I just can't pick it right now.
Yeah, the smell you later bit, and that was great because they kept peppering that out throughout the episode. And it's not like Nelson's had that as a saying before, but I thought they, like I said, peppered it in very nicely.
Yeah.
So, storyline was an A and a B. You had the A of Lisa and Nelson, the B of Happy Dude.
Yep. Very cut and clear.
Yeah, and they brought them together at the end.
Yeah, you get points for that.
Absolutely.
Double points.
And especially for just a great police chief moment. Really nice.
And great Skinner and great Milhouse. The side characters really got their due in this episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go on, it starts with Skinner.
Yeah,
Even Willie
Chalmers.
was so
And
good.
Burnsy.
Yeah.
Willie.
Yeah.
Every little bit of Burns. Mhm.
Frank. Wow,
Frank
so
was
many
great.
great side character cuts in this episode. Wow. Did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
You bet your sweet patoot.
Play count. How many times do you think you've seen this one?
Ooh, so many. But I think I was young enough to not really appreciate it for the magic that it was, you know?
Totally.
Whatever you say, -7.
Yeah, I'm going for up there in the 100. I know I had this one on VHS tape. So I said the original air date was 96, probably means we got in Australia 97. So this is my peak Simpsons viewing time.
Yeah.
And so I've watched this so much.
Yep.
And actually, just pointing it out, a surprisingly grounded story for Season 8, where they were starting to do a lot of the wackier episodes.
Yeah, but still really good. Real good.
Any memories about how bits influenced your life from this movie episode?
Nobody likes Milhouse.
Yeah, there's so many memeable moments. You take the hoose.
Shut off the noozle.
Yeah.
But that's how you know it's a Honda. I think of that pretty much every time I see an ad for Honda, I'm like, why don't you just use that as a slogan?
Yeah, A to B and on weekends C.
Yes.
I do want to bring up a Twizzler. It's not a sprinkler. But I guess, like you said, it doesn't quite fit anymore, but okay.
No, it's amazing how much donuts have evolved. And Hondas haven't.
We should bring back just Crumb Bum. That's fun as well.
Yeah. Oh, and how Skinner brings that back again later.
Yeah.
Listen up, you crumb bums. As if it is a dorky insult that only a dork would say.
Okay, Crumb Bum and Crumb Cake. For the love of Crumb Cake.
Any jokes that sort of flew over your head? I know the one about,
Yes.
I earn superintendent salary.
Oh, that was great. Bomb the Indians, take
Yeah.
the casinos.
Yep.
No chance I noticed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that definitely flew over the
That was
head.
a freeze frame for that one. I never thought about a Honda, 87 Honda Accord being a really bad example of what's going on.
Yep. Wackiness. A little bit of wackiness with the Happy Dude storyline, but not a terrible much. Lot.
Yeah, I suppose the wheels is really the wackiest thing in it.
Oh, well, back on things you didn't notice. I think I never really thought about how dark Wiggum was being when he was like, the only way out is suicide.
Because you forget it. It's just Homer, it becomes funny with he's just ignores it.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Telemarketing.
Also, Eddie and Lou halfway through, and we're appreciative every day. We're so thankful.
Oh, actually, Milhouse's whole once she sees everything, I'll do anything for her. Then she'll respect me.
Such a mistaken, misguided sort of kid thing to do.
For me, that's when I was, oh God, I did that.
I could count all the times on one foot. But yeah, wackiness. Not too wacky. It was a lot of, kids being kids. And
Yeah, and it was the kind of wacky where it's not that it couldn't happen. It's just that it kind of wouldn't. But it's still old and tight.
And
You can make an auto dialer with wheels.
Yeah.
It's possible.
You can throw a beehive at a Scotsman.
I'm pretty sure it's part of the Highland Games, so yeah.
I think that's why these earlier ones work so well. The wackiness is really more just in the writing than in the performance, you know?
It's balanced out with heart.
Thumps.
So many bumps in this episode.
Yeah, this is...
It's powerful stuff, man.
And that, yeah, both of them, like... they're okay with each other at the end. Like, I think, it was a nice way for them to know it's not going to work, but break it. Like,
yeah, I mean, it really comes down to Lisa thought she could change him, and nope, there was nothing there to change. She thought she saw a sensitive soul under this. It's not really there unless he's unless he's, if the raspberries are too tart, I just add a little confectioner sugar. But not quite the same thing. He's still Nelson, and always has been.
He's bad to the bone.
He's not bad, he just doesn't care.
No, he's apathetic to the bone. Apathetic. Apathetic.
Harder to put into a song. Doable, but
Pretty self-explanatory. Yes or no, would you watch this one again?
oh, for sure.
I'm going to go home and do it right now.
Once you guys leave, I'm just putting it on again.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I'm going to bed early because tomorrow is Switchmas.
Oh,
we are recording
snap.
this episode on Switchmas Eve. We're all getting switches tomorrow, and it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Elliot, do you know what time it is? It's about 1:15, so it's Switchmas Day.
Oh my God! Do you think Shigeru Miyamoto is climbing down people's chimneys right now?
Yes. Yes, I don't know. Actually, he's going to be going through the pipes with Mario.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Yeah.
And if you're good on Switchmas Eve, Shing-Zero may come through the pipe.
You got to leave out mushrooms for him.
Yeah.
and gold coins.
Yeah.
But only if you go to bed.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Put it in a playlist.
I'm going to really want to pair this one with Bart's girlfriend.
Yeah, the kids, romantic kids.
Dating, yeah. So I'll balance that. And
Lisa and Wiggum's kid.
Oh, yeah, Ralph.
Oh, yeah,
Ralph.
the I Love Lisa episode.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah. But just speaking to Bart's girlfriend, I really like how in this one you've got she thinks she can change. They both think they can change the other person, and both kind of It's interesting. There's a dynamic there, and in the end, Lisa gets a more amicable breakup, and Bart just kind of gets screwed. But at least he kind of knows about it and has learned a lesson. It's interesting.
The Ralph one, I think, has more of a Milhouse parallel of like Ralph being the unrequited love that you can't quite kick away.
Yeah.
But then Milhouse was a big point in this episode anyway.
Ah, so many points.
And there's an episode where Milhouse gets a girlfriend and then Lisa gets jealous of him. I can't remember if it's any good or not, though.
I'm just trying to remember if I've seen that one, but I started thinking about the one where Bart dates Rainier Wolfcastle's daughter.
Oh, that one's terrible.
Yeah.
Let's rank it.
Yeah, cool.
Kick it off, BT.
Oh, with me again. I'm going to go with gold for this one.
Oh, really?
I think. Gonna explore my feelings a little bit more. But yeah, it's funny, it's tight, it's all good.
Cubic zirconia, I'm going with cubic zirconia. It's cubic zirconia without a question.
Really?
Oh my God, it's just like, oh, it's so good. I remember as soon as it was over, I was like, oh, guys, I feel so happy about this episode. And like, we've talked for fucking 6 hours about this episode now. Sunrise is any minute, and I could still keep going about how much I love and how densely packed it is with jokes,
crazy
and
dense
comedy, and heart, and twists, and the pacing's immaculate. All the characters are so in their element. Skinner is so Skinnery. Starting the whole episode off just with the Skinner. Superintendent is amazing, and he picks on him in such little ways. Agnes doesn't even come on screen, and yet she's
still
just
gets a great
perfect.
moment.
Frink is just like, he's exactly Frink. He's the he could be in Back to the Future. Wiggum, Ed, Lou, Milhouse. Man, this is just, it's the gift that
Your
keeps on
supporting
giving.
cast get an amazing run on this one.
Phenomenal,
for sure.
just phenomenal.
Right, but what do you really think?
Yeah, I can't match your enthusiasm right now, but yeah, god damn it if I don't believe every damn word you just said. Yeah, I'm totally on cubic zirconia. I'm actually surprised you're going gold for this one.
I don't think I could improve this episode.
That's what I'm just kind of thinking about other episodes, and I was thinking again about Bart's girlfriend, which I said just got over the line for cubic zirconia. For me,
Yeah.
that's a better episode than this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Because I thought that one was just a bit lighter on the jokes than this one. This one was so dense with jokes and so dense with story. I think the only moment where it does falter is the Marge driving scene, but, you know, it's a very small blip in an otherwise field of cubic.
See, to me, the Marge part is really important. Like, I mean, it's not important to the storyline.
Yeah.
Maybe because Lisa does go on to still try and change her anyway, but as this like powerful insight into Marge as a tragic character that's like spending her whole life on this mission that she kind of knows that isn't working, and she kind of is lying to herself about. She's living a lie to herself, and her daughter can see it, but she hasn't got the heart to break her mom's heart. And oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
She'll just add another string of yarn to the ball up in the attic.
Oh. And Flanders is in it, and he's so Flandersy as well. And fucking Homer's just like screaming out the window at him. He's just like, "Shut up!"
All right, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm still happy with Gold.
Yeah,
Great.
with Gold. All right.
Yeah, I'm just following the guts.
That's it, man.
Well, you know, near perfect is still pretty damn close to perfect.
A great episode is still a good ranking.
That's it.
That's right. Yeah, that has been episode 37 of The Simpsons Index, and thank you guys for joining me in the dank this evening.
It is slowly turning into the hot box, but we're getting
Thank you for joining me in the dank.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We wanna add more
that's
crap
all
at
the
the end.
mustard in the house.
Is that officially taking over,
someone's
not
gotta
tapping
say
out?
First of all, have you hit spacebar yet?
Oh, no.
Okay, good,
I was
because
just
you haven't
moving
done
the-
your actual catchphrase yet.
No.
And that's all the mustard. I wanted to like wander around Ellie, go, hey, Elliot, do you have any mustard? No, so that's all the mustard in the house.
Oh, that's what'll happen. I'll change my catchphrase to that, and then it'll get all popular, and then everyone will say that to me on the street, but I don't want that. Can't I just have my yacht? And
My discreetly pregnant Brazilian girlfriend.
Well, there's that mustard fellow. What's he done lately?
then I'm the mustard guy, and I don't even like mustard that much.
It's true. I've known you for many years. I've never seen you be like, oh, pass more mustard, please.
No, we have to undo this now.
Stop it before it becomes too big.
Well, in the interest of seeing if anyone likes it, I'm not tapping out, and that's all the mustard in the house.
It's so good.
Thank you for checking out the Simpsons Index podcast. Don't forget to go to www.thesimpsonsindex.com for the spreadsheet and information about upcoming episodes.
And for today's extra content,
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken.
You have a drumstick and your brain stops ticking.
Watching Bare Naked Lady.
Well done.
So yeah, the episode starts out at the start. It's
I see.
Your
Well done.
analysis.
Tell me more,
is just-
I need fucking alcohol.
Yeah, Elliot J. Neal is doing this podcast sober. I don't think you've ever done that before.
Well, I am. Pardon?
Oh, yeah.
Flanders would be proud.
I mean,
Yes.
inverted commas sober. I'm going to start now just punctuating everything with a tremendous, huge, or sad.
Or all of them.
Or all,
It's much
all
more
three.
fun.
Yeah, use them individually, use them as a cluster. Tremendous.
It is
huge,
sad.
It's going to be like the best movie reviews ever.
We rank on our 3-point scale. It's either tremendous or huge or sad.
See, that sounded exactly like you impersonating Alec Baldwin impersonating Trump.
Do you want to hear my Melissa McCarthy impersonating Sean Spicer?
Yes, I do.
No.
That's pretty spot on.
Thank you. We got to talk about this shitty episode, guys.
It's a tremendous episode.
Do we have to?
All right, no, we have one of the few
Well-
good bits here.
What was your
Right,
quote
okay.
from last episode? Can we call this thing a failure and fucking move on with our lives?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's drinking the cup I got at Hamilton. And there's a million drinks I haven't drunk. Just you wait. Just you wait. Oh, this is the part where we rap and talk about Hamilton.
Let's get into it. Failure, partisan, bronze, silver, gold, cubic. Yes, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, you're ready.